would you saying initiate it, because that's the point. Christ said, "This
Right.
is my blood of the New Testament." That's what he said.
Yeah.
Christ never said, "This is my blood of the Old Testament." And then he also put in there all throughout the New Testament. That's why he said, "He that endured to the end, the same shall be saved." So it's not enough in this time to just believe in Christ. You have to repent, keep the laws, and that's it. So if you die and you don't sin after you were saved by Christ, are you not in the New Testament? Let's say if you die and don't, let's say whatever transgressions you committed, you're forgiven. If you endure to the end, are you not in the New Testament? Yes or no?
If you endure to the wilderness, that's and you pass under the rod, you're in the new covenant.
Christ said, "He that endure to the end, the same shall be saved." I'm gonna ask my question again. If you die and don't break the commandments, did you endure? Excuse me. Are you dying in the New Testament?
Can you ask that question differently? Because
If so,
I'll give you
I'll try to ask it.
the
I'll try
reason
to
why I'm
ask it
struggling with it.
again.
Let me
Uh,
explain why I'm struggling with it. Because
okay.
you would say that John the Baptist was not in the truth when
I
he
didn't
died.
say that Christ. I didn't say that Christ said he's the least in the kingdom.
Right.
He didn't follow
Now
Christ.
now that we have a person, we have a good example of an
Huh?
individual. Hey, before we go anywhere, let's just take his position. Now that we have that standard of an individual who died before he got to did John the Baptist
You got low.
uh,
You got
did John
low.
the Baptist can you hear
You're
me now?
low, brother. No, no. I can hear you, but you're just a little low.
Can you hear me better now?
Is it just me? I want to make sure it's not just me.
No, it sounds like a Bluetooth.
Did I hear? Did I hear
Do I
adequately that?
sound better now?
Yeah, that's a little
Yeah,
better.
Yeah,
let
that's
me
good.
ask a question after y'all finish with this shit, bro.
Yeah. So John
No,
the
sir, Jake.
Baptist,
I mean, Jack, you can get it after this. Go ahead.
did
I
John
don't
the
know why we're
Baptist not
using John the Baptist. He's opposite of my point.
did John the Baptist not endure to the end?
No, he didn't.
Okay. So I understand what you're saying now. So if you die not in the truth, no matter what in between
That's not, I didn't say
Christ
about
died
dying not
and the
in the truth. I said if you died and you endured and you didn't transgress the law after
yeah.
Christ gave you repentance in the New Testament, you died in the New Testament. You didn't die in the old.
Okay.
Everything we do under Christ is a representation of being in the New Testament, not the old.
In the even if you sin, right? And you suffer the curses that are written in the Old Testament that are not supposed to be in the New Testament, but we're still suffering the curses written in the Old Testament, even though we're in the New Testament.
Judgment is just, I said this why I said what y'all are arguing is not what I'm arguing. That's not my argument. My argument is that the only redemption we have is from Christ, who represents the New Testament. Period. There's
And it's
nothing
a
that says
redemption from the curses, right?
it's a redemption from your past transgressions. It's not a redemption from punishment. Hebrews 10 and 26 says, if you sin willfully after receiving the gift of eternal life, there remaineth no more. Let me make sure I get it, for they say I'm doing the NLT
Sacrifice.
thing. There
Sacrifices
remaineth
for willful sin.
there, there remaineth no more sacrifice. So Christ didn't die for you to now go back and transgress. There'll be a punishment for it. That's why I said the argument that y'all are making is not the argument that I'm saying. I'm saying everything we do is under the New Testament. There's nothing that we do that's not under the New Testament today. Period.
Including suffering the curses in Deuteronomy
So
and
if I
Leviticus.
so if I go to verse 29, I'm in Hebrews 10 and 26 that I read. If I go to verse 29, it says, "Of how much sore punishment suppose ye shall be thought worthy, who have tried underfoot the Son of God, and have counted the blood of the covenant wherewith he was sanctified." So when you get forgiveness, it's under that covenant, and that's the new covenant that you're in. So if you get the forgiveness, you're getting forgiveness under the new covenant, not the old.
And when you're forgiven of the sins,
Can you just
what
at
what
least
it,
can you acknowledge that part, that part is in the new covenant?
you're supposed to be not only forgiven, but any sin, you're not supposed to be able to sin, and your sit passage, you're not
That
supposed to
ain't
be
what I.
indifferent.
That's not what I'm asking you. I
Uh-huh.
said I just read in verse 29 when it says, "Have counted the blood of the covenant." That means your forgiveness came under that covenant. That's the new covenant, not the old. So will you acknowledge that your forgiveness of your past sins is because of the new covenant?
Okay, I will accept that. Now
No
you
problem. I'm done.
again,
That's that one. That just proves my
again.
point. I'm done.
No, but no,
Uh,
it doesn't.
Triller, you got
No,
it.
it
You got it,
but
Yeah,
Triller.
no,
I'm
it
done.
no,
let me
it
get in
doesn't.
there, man.
Hold
That's
on,
a
wait,
body
wait,
bag
no,
right
Wait,
there.
hold
no, because
on,
this is gonna this is a
hold
run. This is
on.
running.
That's
Again,
not
when you
running.
go,
That's the only
yes, it
point
is.
that I'm making, brother.
But we're
With like,
the point we're making is this is the discrepancy. We're suffering curses in the first covenant, correct?
but I'm going.
Yes.
But see, but when this is the
Yes or no?
discrepancy.
Yes or no,
I'm.
Cap?
I'm. I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna answer you clean, and then I'm gonna
Okay.
explain. Yes, we are. But you're arguing something that is not my point. You're arguing points within the New Testament that's going to take place, the endurance that we have to endure. That's what you're arguing. I'm not going to argue that. I'm going to agree with that. That's why I just read Hebrews 10 and 29. Hebrews 10 and 29 is telling you if you do something under that new covenant, your punishment is worse. So now under the old covenant, you was punished one way. Under the new covenant, it says
Preach, Cap. Preach.
of how much sorer punishment suppose ye. So even your punishment under the New Testament is worse than your punishment under the old. Even the punishment is worse. If I go back to Hebrews 9 and 16, it says, for where a testament is, there must also a necessity be a death of the testator. Christ is the testator of the New Testament. We are in it. The punishment is
Amen,
worse.
Pastor.
The gift is better.
Jay,
All under
Jay,
the New Testament.
Jay
So
I don't
it's
know
Stanley.
what the argument is, man.
Hold on,
One
right
that
second,
there.
is
Salaki.
Hold
it's
on,
So
right there,
everybody,
really
real
quick.
quick,
I,
real quick.
Let me
Everybody,
get in
just
there, man.
tally. 1 second, Tally and and Captain Tazaryach are talking. Jay, with the rest of us on mute, please stay on mute. Let them
Hey,
talk.
I'm kind of, Daniel, Allah, I'm kind of done. I think I proved my point. I know Jack wanted to get in
Yeah,
there.
let me.
I mean, them scriptures I read is about as clean as you can get. I mean, I ain't really got much to say. I don't want to hog the mic. Triller could get in there, and Tally, they can get in there.
Hey,
Yeah, how
Hey,
Salaki.
did John the
priest.
Baptist not endure to the end? I'd
Hey,
love to hear
priest.
that one. Go ahead, Trill.
Not
Hey,
Hey,
now,
no,
Salaki,
let
not
you
me
want to
let
read
now.
the
me
So
PTR
real
real
Hey,
quick?
now.
that's a
So
body bag, though. Y'all
let me
lucky
hear
replays is off.
hold
Yeah,
on, hold
hold
on.
on. Yeah, really quick,
Who is
everybody.
Tally talking to now? So Cap yielded. 1 second, 1 second. Tally, Salaki King. So, Cap yielded. So, is it going to be Jack and Tally now? Who's it going to be? Like, I don't want everybody coming off mute. We're trying to have a clean conversation. Who's it going to be? Tally and Jack? Who's it
Yeah,
going to be?
Triller definitely should be in there. I think Tally was in there. Again, I don't need to hog the mic. Y'all lucky the replays is off.
throw me in there
Yeah.
too.
Triller, you got it. Triller, you
All
got
right, so this
Everybody
wait,
else stay on
wait,
mute.
Triller,
Everybody else
hold
stay
on,
on
Triller.
mute.
Yeah, really quick, Triller.
Hey,
I just
hey,
want to throw
hey,
this.
why y'all move me to the audience?
That was me.
I ain't nobody.
That was me because this is a Truth Mafia platform.
And what that mean?
What does that mean?
That mean you don't get a green bean. You allowed on stage, but you don't get a green
That's
bean.
right.
Oh, y'all some crybabies. Okay, good.
all
Yeah,
right, cool.
yeah, that's okay.
That's some goofy ass
So
shit.
Goofy niggas, yo.
All right, well, I mean,
All
leave
I
then.
right,
mean, if
now,
it, if
now
it's
when
goofy,
now
if
yeah,
when
it's
that
niggas
goofy, I mean,
now
no,
when
we
nah,
niggas
can
start
nah,
saying
nah, nah.
shit,
Hey,
you can
y'all,
always leave if it's
we
goofy.
not doing that, y'all. Everybody on mute. Baba Kasha, right? The brother Kadazar got it. No, I don't know if that brother got an issue with whoever, but you know what I'm saying. Supposedly everything ain't ironed out or whatever, so that's just gonna lead that there. What I want to bring out real quick, right? Hebrews 10. We could bring it out. This is verse 29, right? Because it doesn't say anything about you sinning in the or your punishment in the covenant. It don't say that. This is
Damn, I
verse
thought
20.
it was on me.
No, brother, I was waiting the whole
It's
time.
between y'all
I gotta.
two. 1 second, Tyler.
Yeah,
Triller, it's between y'all two. So when Tally finishes, you can respond to him. He's just going first.
yeah, kind. And I didn't want to say just between us two because I got a call on hold and I'm working right now. But I'm gonna be in and out. This is verse 29, right? So what Hebrews 10 says is pause. Salaki. Hebrews 10, verse 29 reads, of how much sore punishment suppose ye shall he be thought worthy who hath trodden underfoot the Son of God, and hath counted the blood of the covenant? wherewith he was sanctified in unholy thing, and have done despite unto the grace, the spirit of grace. So I don't think anybody who holds my position is gonna deny that Christ's blood was the blood for the new covenant. But just how me and Cap had in our old conversation, somebody on Truth Mafia find that and put that at the top. Me and Cap had already had like a damn near 45-minute build on a new covenant. Just like the old covenant, the blood was spilled with Abraham and Isaac on the mountain. But in Deuteronomy, you see Moses and the children of Israel. That's when they actually entered into the covenant, when they're actually going to go into the land, because the covenant was the land. So just because you see the initial sacrifice or that price being paid does not mean you have entered into the covenant. That's just the price being paid. I'll use an example like my brother Mike, not Mike, my brother Leo uses. The new covenant could be likened unto like an Amazon package, right? Like if you buy something online, yes, you paid for the price, it's on the way, but you don't. I mean, and even if you own it, right? You
Hey,
own it.
Tally, if I could, why did Tazaryach get moved down again? Y'all said he just couldn't have a beam.
Yeah,
He
Yeah.
didn't
So
have a
like,
beam.
yeah. Don't move him
I'm
down.
not
I ain't
even.
move him down though.
Like I don't understand. Like
Yeah,
if you say he
he can
can't have a
come up.
beam, and then
He can
I'm
come up.
as a moderator, I didn't mod him because I'm
Yeah.
trying to respect y'all space. But why was he moved down again? Like that's what make the shit corny and gay. But
Yeah.
Golden Swords, y'all are entertain all. Well, not Truth Mafia, but I just don't understand the hypocrisy here. Like, what's up?
Listen,
Yeah,
Yeah,
He
that
he
can
he,
he
come on
he
the
back on
little
stage or he
stage.
gay,
Go
he
can't.
ahead,
gay,
Tally.
bro.
I mean, if y'all gonna do him like that, do me the exact same way. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He ain't
like,
even
so
hey,
say
that.
Cap.
nothing. Like he ain't even say nothing on the
Hey,
stage.
Salakia, Cap. Hey, Salakia, Cap. He can be on, bro. Your little man could be on stage. He just can't have a green
These
bean. That's
these
it.
little
Right. Well,
niggas
hold
is
on
gay,
one
cat.
second, Kadazar.
But we already
Q,
got
he
past
came back
this.
on the stage without the beam and he was moved down
Hey,
again.
Cal,
That's why I'm saying
Oh
it's
yeah.
gay. Like I don't understand
is
why
more
that's.
people
Okay.
under the
Yeah.
Truth Mafia modded though. It could have been anybody that dropped it down.
Hey,
Okay.
Cap.
I
Hey,
didn't
Whether
Cap.
you
say
said
who
the Truth
did it.
Mafia.
I
One
said
second,
why
everybody.
was he
Everybody
done
relax.
after y'all said.
And
I
Everybody
just
this
don't
I
relax.
understand
understand
why
what
it
you're
Everybody
was
saying.
relax.
done.
Hold on, real quick,
Everybody
Salakia.
relax. 1 second. 1 second, if I could. Hey, Cap. He's back on stage. So, Cap, I see Cap got back on stage. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, but that shit was gay as fuck
Yeah,
to do
real.
it again after
I
y'all said
know,
he
Yeah,
couldn't be
real,
I
up
real
know,
there.
quick,
And
Priest
I didn't do
Yala.
it, Cap,
I
but
know.
you know what I'm saying,
I
I
didn't
Yeah,
will.
real
accuse
quick.
anybody. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
a hit
It's
dog will
fine.
holler.
It's
I didn't
fine.
accuse anybody.
Yeah,
It's
it's
I
fine.
okay.
It's
know. We know.
fine.
We know. So
Nobody with a
let's
green bean. If you got a green bean, please don't move
Yeah.
yeah.
the
Don't move
brother
Captain
down.
Kadazar down.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't move that.
don't
Yeah,
move
don't
him
be
down.
emotional.
Yeah, stop
He
being
get
gay.
he's allowed
All
to
right, come on, brothers. Let's
he's
just keep the
allowed to stay
conversation
up
Y'all,
as
moving.
hey,
long as
hey,
he don't got no
Tally,
green bean.
Tally,
Yes,
Tally. You know, one thing.
yeah,
I respect you. I would say, but they did it twice, and it was.
yeah.
And if y'all want to say the first time y'all got your rules, that's fine. But the second time, unnecessary. That's what make the shit emotional.
And if I could, Cap, real quick. So if I could,
Huh.
and this is my Truth Mafia brothers, and y'all know I love y'all. It's priest talking. If y'all want us, all of us, to support y'all rooms, y'all gotta move right. So please, he's back on stage now. Keep him on stage. Y'all brothers want us to support y'all rooms. We coming to support y'all rooms. So just move right. If y'all have any
God.
questions, y'all ask me behind the
Did
scenes.
anybody from Truth Mafia move him down?
La
I
Uh-uh.
don't
Yeah,
know.
somebody did.
No, no.
I don't know, but
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
did.
asking y'all. This priest asking y'all. If this is y'all room, so I'm asking y'all to take control of your rooms.
priest,
Don't move them down.
as long as he behave himself, little bruh could stay.
All
It's not a
praises.
problem.
Like even that
See,
right
like
there,
that's
that's the
that's what I
emotional
Okay,
mean.
part.
okay,
That's
Like,
okay,
not
Hey,
okay,
it's a,
necessary.
hey,
Like that's
okay,
not necessary right here.
it's
Like
you know
Daniel,
what
I
it
okay,
was
is.
coming in here being a peacemaker, and everybody's
okay,
quiet. It's not necessary to throw jabs because then it goes back and
okay,
forth. Let's just get back to the build, but be professional, not
But
emotional.
Cat, this is what's
okay.
crazy, right? It seemed like the issue is really with Q, and I spoke to you on the one, which means you holding a grudge like a bitch. So it's like, bruh, you ain't gotta be that gay. If you got an issue, you could have hit me anytime. You have my number. You know what I'm saying? Because as far as I'm concerned, I thought we worked this out when we talked about what happened that day. So
Yo,
clearly, you're still in your feelings.
yo. I want to make this real simple because I don't want to divert from the conversation, right? You know what you told me on the phone, brother, right? And I'm not even going to insult you, bro, because you know what I'm saying, or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I gotta get more built up in the spirit. So I'm not going to do all that. When we had our conversation, brother, you told me you could not apologize because you felt in that moment that you stood on what you said, right? About saying that, we was all bitches or whatever. And I said, okay, cool. I can accept that if that's how you felt in that moment. That's what you told me. And I told all of everybody else in here exactly what you said. You also said that you don't respect niggas who separate themselves from the source of their doctrine. That's what you said. That would be brothers like me, Joel, Corey, Mal Halab, etc. And I don't respect that, right?
I
So I
asked you.
spoke
You
and
know
I
what,
I
said
did
Q?
that.
ask you to
Q.
stop doing that, though.
You
Q.
know
I
what I
talked to
Q.
you,
You know what
Q.
I told you
I
directly.
asked you to
Q.
stop doing that. Now,
Hold
I'm
on, real
telling the
quick.
truth,
you can
bro. I'm
make it.
Q.
telling the truth.
You don't.
I'm
You
telling the
This is
don't
truth.
know.
Q.
You don't
Q.
personally know
I
my
did.
Q.
relationship with Zabak. You don't understand it.
Q.
I
This
didn't
is what
say
I
that I
told you.
did, Elder.
Q.
That's not
This
what
is
I
So,
what I
said.
so
told you.
I asked politely that you don't do that because it's not necessary for you to make the point you're trying to make. Don't do that. Just
Okay,
stand on what
Salaki.
you stand on. But don't do that. You don't know
So,
what you're saying when you say that because
Well,
I have
he don't
peace
get
with these
Joel.
brothers and I
Joel, he
intend to
don't get
keep
it.
that.
Joel, he don't get it because he don't even get what I told him that day, which is why he's butchering all of it. And this is what's crazy, right? Because when we had that conversation, you said it's peace and we can move forward. You were like, hey, you could come in the room, all that XYZ, and you ain't say nothing about no static after that. Because
bro.
when I talked to you was, and this is what's crazy, when I talked to you in that moment, you
Mhm.
agreed with me. I said I made a general statement. And I said, in that general statement, just so happened to fit you because hit dogs holler. And I asked you, I said, did you hear the breakdown? You said no. I said, so was it wise to speak on the breakdown if you didn't hear it? You said no. I said, well, to me, is a very hoish thing for it's. I said it's gossip. I said if you speak on something without knowing it, and now you're running around publicly, you're gossiping. I said that's what hoes do, and you said, you know what? I agree with you on that. It's wrong to do that. I said, well, that was my issue. My issue was people were speaking on something without actually viewing it. And you agreed with me in that moment. So I don't even know what your issue is.
Brother, let's
One
be
second, one
honest,
second.
bro. In
Hey,
front
Hey,
of
Q,
y'all might need
Q,
a
Q.
you know,
One
this in the
second, one
scriptures
second,
it say
one
in
second.
this one, I got it done, y'all. In the scriptures it say like if y'all can't agree, go two or three. We do want to get back to the build. If it's something where y'all need a judgment in the matter, we can always do so. It definitely sounds like y'all haven't heard each other, and we don't want to take away from the build. I just would like for Kadazad not to get moved down again, or y'all can move me down and we could just leave. But if we're gonna be professional and not emotional, let Tally and Trilla get back to the build on are we in the New Testament after I done already smoked y'all already.
Hey man,
So we're gonna get
y'all
to
gonna do
Trilla.
what y'all want to do anyway. Y'all handle y'all business, bro.
It's
Like
all
No
good.
problem.
Look,
So we're gonna get back to the
I
build. So we're
peep
gonna get back.
people behavior, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey,
Go.
Q,
I
Hey,
offer
Q,
a
hey,
Q,
Q.
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 I
Relax,
Relax.
offered. I
everybody.
offer
Everybody,
count.
one
And this is
second, one second,
Jesus,
one
man.
second. Q, I need you to talk to me, bro. Just allow the conversation generally to happen. If you have any issues, Q, reach out to me. We'll talk, please. I just want the conversation that we were having to happen for now. Okay, I
Kind of. I
understand
echo that
your
sentiment.
view, but I'm asking you for me. I'm asking you for me. You respect me. We can have
Yo,
this conversation later,
Priest Daniela, I'm gonna respect your request and I'm gonna stay on mute and I wanna
please.
apologize,
And
say salaki to
no, no, you
Elder
good, you
Yawal.
good, you good.
I shouldn't have brought that up. You know what I'm saying?
I want you, y'all want all everybody else. Everybody else has an
Just hit me up in
issue
the back, bro.
with
It's
UPK. With
okay.
UPK, everybody else has an issue with UPK. I'm gonna be the mediator because I deal with Yak, I deal with
Right.
Kataza, I deal
We're
with
gonna be the
y'all.
mediator of
Anybody else
this
has an
testament.
issue? Y'all
Yo,
talk to me. We want to deal with this behind the scenes, please. I'm asking everybody. Let's just get back to the conversation, please. For now, I'm asking y'all for respect for me. I don't ask often. I don't pull rank often. I don't ask y'all often. It's the one time I ask y'all, please. If there's issues, y'all reach out to me. We'll do this behind the scenes. I'll talk to Yak. I'll talk to Kadizal. I'll talk to y'all. Please, for now, let's just get back to the conversation. Please.
Hey, how many covenants are the children of Israel under?
wait, Gadar. Don't
That's
try
a
to
good
switch it
question,
up.
Gadal, but hold it.
Yep,
Uh,
don't switch it. Right. So what I was bringing out real quick, right? Let me get back to cutting these brothers up, right? Got them on skates, y'all. Right. So so for the blood that was shed for the first covenant, the initial blood was on the mountain with when the Most High told him to offer up Isaac, Abraham, right? He told Abraham to offer up Isaac. At the last second, he provided a ram. That was the initial blood that was paid that day. Now, you see here in Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 10, right? This is, before they go into the land, all that good stuff. So, verse 10, ye stand this day, all of you, before the Lord your God, your captains of your tribes, your elders, and your officers with all the men of Israel, your little ones, your wives, and the stranger that is in thy camp, from the hewer of thy wood unto the drawer of thy water, that thou shouldest enter into covenant. So like I got a phone call. I had to throw that just out real quick. Verse 12, that thou shouldest enter into covenant with the Lord thy God and into his oath, which the Lord thy God maketh with thee this day. Right? So verse 13, that he may establish thee today for a people unto himself, and that he may be unto thee a God, as he hath said unto thee, and as he hath sworn unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. Right? Neither with you only do I make this covenant and this oath, but with him that standeth here with us this day before the Lord our God, and also with him that is not here with us this day. Right? So there you go. You see them enter into the covenant at this point. I'm saying the new covenant is going to be the same thing, right? So what you see in Ezekiel 20, when you see them actually being gathered from all the countries, you see them being put in the wilderness, them being purified. I'm saying the rebels being purged out. And you see in the quote unquote New Testament when Christ is given the parable of the uh, the sower, what's it called, the wheat and the tares, right? When he breaks it down for the disciples, he tells them that at the end of the days, the angels are going to gather the rebels, or the seed of the wicked one, and cast them into the lake of fire, right? I'm saying all that links back to Ezekiel 20 when they finally going into the new covenant, just like we see here with the first one. But again, I'm a yield right here. I just want to put two questions on the floor. The brother Cap already gave his understanding, but anybody else like Jack or whoever else want to jump in, I want to know if y'all have the same understanding. Will the Israelites be able to sin in the new covenant, and will they be under the curses of Deuteronomy in the new covenant? Yes or no?
Slow down, everybody. Wait 1 second. So that was a clear question that Tally asked. Before we go further, we're trying to slow it down so there's no confusion. Who wants to take
Me.
I
the?
think it was
Who's
Trilla.
me?
I think it was Trilla that was given the floor
So that
on
means
the opposite side.
everybody else needs to be on mute.
Correct.
There's no confusion. Trilly.
All right. The answer is yes, and I'm finna prove that with the same thing I was finna bring out anyway. Ezekiel chapter 20. I already know for a fact because when me and Ariella debated, a whole bunch of people agreed with him. Even the people that's in the new covenant, even OT onlys agree with this. Ezekiel chapter 20, and this shit ain't even finna take long. Verse 33 through 38 is us entering the new covenant. All right. So Tally and Jake, you agree with that, right? Matter of fact, hold your answer till I read the verses. Ezekiel chapter 20, starting at verse 33. As I live, saith the Lord God, surely with the mighty hand and with the stretched out arm and with fury poured out will I rule over you, and I will bring you out from the people and will gather you out of the countries wherein ye were scattered, with the mighty hand and with the stretched out arm and with fury poured out. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face, just like in the old covenant. Now in the wilderness, in Exodus chapter 24, they entered into that covenant in the wilderness. We gonna enter this new covenant. Well, we already entered the new covenant, but we gonna be walking into the consummation of the covenant, getting into the kingdom right here. And I know nobody disagree with that because we done talked about it too many times. So, verse 35, and I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there I will plead with you face to face, like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt, so will I plead with you, saith the Lord God. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant. So that's clear. We're in the new covenant right here. And I'm gonna make you agree before I put this body bag verse out here. Verse 38, and I will purge out from among you the rebels, and them that transgressed against me, I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. But everybody beside the rebels, they going under the rod, entering the bonds of the covenant. Now, Tally and Jake, ain't this entering into the new covenant right here before I go to this next verse and end the conversation?
But I took a call. I'm just hearing like the last 10 seconds of what.
Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 33 through 38, that you're very
Mm-hmm.
familiar with, is us
Mm-hmm.
walking into the new covenant. Yes or no?
Yes.
All right, Jake. What about you?
Yeah, that's correct.
All
That's
right. So
accurate
we so
assessment.
we so we entering in the new covenant, but y'all hinging on Jeremiah 31 and 31, but you even body bag yourself because you admit we in the new covenant right here. Now watch this. This shit ain't even gonna take long. Isaiah chapter 60. Boom. Verse 25. Boys got some explaining to do. Now is after this is after Ezekiel chapter 20. Because this is going on in the kingdom. Isaiah chapter 65. Let me get to verse 20. There shall be no more thence an infant of days, nor an old man that hath not filled his days. For the child shall die 100 years old, but the sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed. Now that's after Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 33 through 38. So the whole thing that you hinging on Jeremiah 31 and 31, you are walking contradiction in your own doctrine if you saying that that's when the new covenant happened. Because in the kingdom, after Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 33 through 38, after we are regathered, all 12 tribes, and into the bond of the new covenant, niggas still gonna be dying according to Isaiah chapter 65, verse 20. Now,
Now,
before you would go any
now watch
further in
this,
questioning if we on the new covenant, you gotta explain your way out of that.
brother. That was horrible. What the Jack? Really?
That's one of
Yo,
his breakdown.
that's
Hey,
horrible, right?
yeah,
Because
I'm saying.
yeah, so let me make sure I heard you
That's
right.
what niggas
You're
always say when
saying
they get the shit cut out of them.
no. Watch this, brother. Because if I hear you right, you're saying that because in Isaiah 65, verse 17 on down, it's saying that the people that are cursed are gonna die to hunt it and all that good stuff, right? That those are Israelites. Is that what you're saying? Because I agree that's gonna happen. I'm just saying those are
That's
heathens, not
that's
Israelites.
Isaiah chapter 65. If
Yeah.
you gonna try to say that that's not Israelites, you know what I'm saying? Because like first
I mean,
thing,
let me show you
the,
why.
the well,
Let's
well
go
hold
up a
on,
couple
well,
verses.
hold on. You can't just do that. You can't ask me a question and while I'm talking, just cut me off. The first thing is every time a nigga get the shit cut out of him and somebody ask him a question, they turn around and ask a fucking question. You
Brother,
can't
stop
ask me no
stalling. Let's
goddamn
jump up a
question.
couple verses,
You
brother.
gotta
Let's just
answer
jump
what
up
I
a
just
couple
asked
verses.
you.
Brother, I'm asking you,
Brother, you
it,
you can't ask me nothing. Answer the question.
brother, you just said people are going to be dying. Yes, they're going to be dying. I said it's the heathen, not the Israelites, right?
You
So
gotta
let's
prove
prove
that.
it. Yes, brother. Guess what? Same chapter, a couple verses up, brother. Let's go ahead and jump up to verse 17. New heavens and a new earth. For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind. But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and her people a joy. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem, and joy in my people. And the voice of weeping shall no more be heard in her, nor the voice of crying. So this brother is going to tell you that this next verse, in verse 20, Israelites are going to be cursed, dying early. But right in the very 3 verses before it is telling you the new heaven and new earth, all the tears are going to be wiped from Jerusalem. There's going to be no more heard weeping. So how the hell is Jerusalem going to be cursed in verse 20? Make that make sense, brother Jack. So my point stands
Shit,
true.
it's right
Those
there in
are
the text.
heathens,
It clearly say
And there
your
shall
people.
be no
Who is
more
who
death.
is the people that it's
brother.
talking about? It's talking
Brother,
about who is God's people? Israelites. So what the hell is you talking about? You didn't just
okay.
prove that verse 20 ain't talking about
Hey
Israelites. Don't ask me no questions.
y'all,
Explain
who's
what
cut
the
right
hell is
now?
going on. Don't ask me nothing.
Watch this. All right, hey, that's okay, my brother. Right? Let's read verse 20. Verse 20. There shall be no more thence an infant of days, nor an old man. And you know what? Let me read this in a different translation, right? Because Jack is a good old Christian Israelite. Let's read this in the NLT, right? NLT, verse 20 of Isaiah 65. No longer will babies die when only a few days old. No longer will adults die before they have lived a full life. No longer will people be considered old at 100. Only the cursed will die that young. Now, in the 3 verses going up, right before this, it just said, let's read it again for Jack, right? Because it said only the cursed are going to die that young. Now, Jack said some of those cursed are going to be Israelites. Let's jump up 3 verses and let's hear how silly this nigga sound. Isaiah 65, verse 17. For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered nor come into mind. But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. and that which he created is the new heaven and new earth. That's a previous verse. Keep reading. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing and her people a joy. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem and joy in my people. And the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. Brother Jack, are the Israelites still going to be cursed whenever this happens?
brother. Once you answer my
Yes or no,
question,
brother?
once you answer my question,
Brother, are
I'll
the
answer
Israelites still going to be
five.
cursed after this happens?
Hold
I
on,
Yes
asked
or no?
hold on,
one
hold on,
I asked one
hold on,
question.
Taliban. I'll
Once
just
you
answer.
answer my question, I'll answer five of your damn questions. Nigga,
Okay,
stop
okay.
asking me
Hold on,
questions and
Taliban.
answer
What's the
me.
question? Hold on,
The
Jack.
hell is
I mean,
wrong
hold
with
on.
you?
Hold on, Jake.
He's
What's the
just
question,
Nigga, you
Jack?
done
What's the
asked
question?
me three
I'm gonna
damn
answer it. I'm gonna
questions.
answer it
I
right
asked
Calm
now.
down,
one
Trilla.
What's
question.
the
Calm down,
question?
Trilla. Trilla,
Goddamn.
calm down.
What's the question? Don't try to run, nigga.
Nigga, answer
What's
the
the question?
question.
Ask it,
Taliban.
nigga. What's the question? No,
Taliban.
hold on,
Just
Jake.
answer the question.
ISO, nigga. ISO, nigga. This is AI versus whoever that nigga he stepped over. Jack, I'm asking you. What's the question, brother?
Called him Teron Lou.
Nigga, the first question was, nigga, in
That's
Ezekiel.
the last gay nigga with the braids, brother. What's the question? I'm gonna answer it. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? That's now how in the hell is you trying to argue me and you don't even know the
Ask the
stop
Ask
question,
asking
him a
me
nigga. Come
questions.
on.
question. Ask him a question.
Stop asking me questions, bro. I'm finna ask you the question. Don't
This nigga
ask
on
me
the
no
floor
damn
get
questions after
he on
I
the
ask you,
floor
bro.
getting stepped over saying answer
Yeah,
the question,
yeah,
nigga.
nigga, you crossed up. That was horrible. It was so
Jack,
Nigga, you
horrible.
on the
Jack
Now
is
you
floor
don't know
looking
what the
up.
hell I'm
Come
Jack
on.
talking
is
about.
just loud
So
on when he
once
makes
again,
a breakdown on the scripture. He's
In
for sure
Ezekiel
about.
chapter 20, verse 33 through 38, you
Hmm.
agree that that's entering the new covenant. Isaiah chapter 65, verse 20 is after we have walked in the new covenant.
Prove it.
You still see the
Oh
verse
yeah,
says,
yeah,
no matter,
true. True, I
brother,
agree.
no matter how many translations you read, you can read the NLT, and that's
Brother,
crazy.
I agree. What's the
Niggas that
question,
hold
nigga?
to the
Ask the
KJ,
question.
I don't understand why you even talking. Niggas
Jack,
that
ask
hold
the
to the KJ,
question, brother.
I don't even understand why you talking.
Hey Jack,
Niggas that read the KJV and only hold to the KJV is jumping to the goddamn NLT. That's how you know you cut and you
Just
don't know
ask
where the
the
hell you
question,
at.
nigga.
So you can
If I could, hey Trilla, this cat. If I could, is your position to show that it's punishment or death after you're in the New Testament?
right, and he already done
That's what I
agreed to
think.
it. It ain't
Tally.
he
I think
Okay, so what's the
that's.
question?
I don't think. No. So Trilla, I don't think he understand your argument point. Tally. Trilla's arguing point is that there's death after they're in the New Testament.
And I
That's why he's
agree.
asking you. No, no, I'm just telling you. That's why he's asking you the question. I just want to
Oh,
make sure
okay.
you understand what I'm saying. I just want
Yeah,
to make sure because I think that's why y'all going back and forth because you're not hearing what his premise
Cap.
is.
Right.
Cap. This
That's
nigga
his
playing
premise.
stupid, Cap. So what's happening is I already answered the question,
No,
right?
y'all could get
Yes,
it back.
there's
I just
death.
want to make sure. I just wanted you
Yeah.
to understand
no,
his point.
you
Y'all,
didn't
I got
answer the
you.
question. You don't
Hold
even
on,
know the
Jack.
damn
y'all.
Hold on,
question.
Jack.
That's why I gotta ask you again. Stop lying.
Hold on, hold on,
You ain't
hold on,
answered
hold on.
shit.
Hold,
I asked you
hold
one
on, Jack,
question
really quick,
and you
brother.
done
Calm
asked me
down.
three.
Brother,
All
take
you
your
did
heart,
was
put it
ask
back.
questions, nigga. You ain't answered
Brother, put
nothing.
your heart
What
back in your
the hell
chest.
is you
Calm down
talking
for two
about?
seconds. Hold on. So, Cap, just to give you a quick response to what you said, I'm saying this nigga playing stupid. He know exactly what I'm talking about. I said there is definitely a new covenant for the other nations. That's a part of the gospel. That's a part of the new
Man,
covenant.
everybody know
Is
what you're saying is bullshit. Ain't no
Hey,
other
brother,
nations
why
in
you
view in
gotta?
Isaiah
Okay, so
65 and
now
20.
for
Ain't
the
no damn
record,
Can
other
I
so
finish
nations
now,
in view.
really
if I
quick? Let
could,
me
so
finish.
Cap it,
Everybody in here know
Natalie,
that shit.
I got you, Tally, I got you, Trilla.
Got the piss cut
So
out you, cuz.
Tally's position, so Trilla, Tally's position is that death is not for Israelites. So
He lied.
yes, it's
And
death.
who who in the hell agree
I'm
with
gonna
him?
give y'all
Who
the
in the hell
floor back.
say
No, no,
that's
wait,
not
I'm
Israelites in Isaiah
I
65 and
agree.
20?
I
Get
agree.
the
I'm
fuck
just
out of here.
all I'm doing. Wait, all I'm doing is making sure y'all have a clear understanding of
That's a
what both of
cut.
y'all two is arguing. That's all. So Tally's position is that it is death in the New Testament, but that death belongs to non-Israelites. So everybody that's listening, Trilla is showing how there is death in the New Testament. He's attributing it to Israelites. Tally's position is that he agrees that there's death in the New Testament, but those are not Israelites. That's where we're at right now.
This
For those
nigga's a
that are
fucking
listening,
joke.
the floor is
It's
back to
on.
y'all
These
two.
niggas
It's
these
The
niggas
floor is
okay.
back
hinging
to
All
on
y'all.
right.
Jeremiah 30. These niggas hold on. These niggas
This
hinging
nigga's
on
bad,
Jeremiah
y'all.
31. On Jeremiah 31 and 31
Yeah,
that say it's a new
brother,
covenant
go
for
back to Isaiah
Israel and Judah.
65. Where we
It
at,
ain't saying
nigga? Stop
hold
running.
on, hold
Come
on,
back
bro.
to the
Why you
scripture,
I don't
brother.
even understand
Come
why
back
you
to Bible.
talking. I don't even understand why
Okay,
you talking.
go
They
ahead.
hanging on Jeremiah 31 and 31 that say it's a new covenant for the house of Israel and the house of Judah. Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 33 through 38 is talking about regathering the tribes of Israel and Judah. Isaiah 65 and 20, where you started at 17, is talking about a new heaven and a new earth and her people. Nigga, the people of God is Israelites. It ain't never changed the goddamn The context never changed to where it's talking about no damn Gentiles in Isaiah 65 and 20. Even the niggas who agree with this nigga whole stance know goddamn well, boy, somebody better get in this back chat and help him. Nigga, you know damn well that ain't no other nations in Isaiah 65 and 20 that's in the kingdom, that's after the new covenant for Israel and Judah, and they got sinners. Your shit is broke, nigga. Now
Let
answer
me
the
show you.
question.
Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me answer the question. Taliban, read that verse again in the NLT. Read it again. He told you. He knows he's cut. That's why he's
And I
laughing.
and I just wanted to say that, like, because I believe Tally was answering your question, Trilla, based off the context of that chapter where you brought him to, and then he asked you a question based off the context of that chapter, and you went to Jeremiah 31, you spoke on Ezekiel, but you're not touching the context of that chapter. So he said it, and he was asking you to parse out a scripture, and you still haven't done it. So I
Right,
just want to kind of communicate that. Can you do it? Like,
right,
if
because
everybody believe you, oh my bad, who is that, Cap?
yeah,
Go
no,
ahead,
I
Cap.
was just gonna echo your sentiments, Corey, because really the argument then would come down to if you're able to establish that those are Israelites, then your point is proven that Israelites are dying after the
Right.
New Testament. From Tally's position, if he's able to prove that they're not Israelites, then his position will still stand that Israelites are not dying in the New Testament. So that's the stand that we're at right now. So for Trilla's side, you would have to demonstrate that they're Israelites. Tally's side would have to demonstrate. That's why Tally is arguing with you the way that he's arguing with you. That's why you argue. Once that's established, then
Yep.
your point is either going to be substantiated or Tally's point is going to be substantiated.
Mm-hmm. And he's pigeonholing you to the context of the chapter that you brought him to. So at least you can do is parse out where he asking you to parse out, so we can see what's true. The floor is yours.
All right, Con. So Isaiah 65, I'm gonna read verse 20 again. And we just
Just so y'all know, I was
all
on
we
a
gotta
phone
do is
call.
stay
I
right
gotta let
here.
y'all know that. Just in case he had asked me any questions, I was on a phone call. So lucky, King. Go ahead.
All we gotta do is stay right here in the damn chapter. From the beginning, we can start at verse 17, which is talking about Revelation chapter 21, and we know damn well that's for Israel. For behold, I will create new heavens and a new earth. The former things will not be remembered, nor will they come to mind. But be glad and rejoice forever in what I create. For I create Jerusalem to be a joy, and its people to be a delight. That's the damn children of Israel. I will rejoice in Jerusalem, Israel, and take delight in my people. Who is the Lord's people? Israel. That's verse damn 19. The sound of weeping and crying will no longer be heard in her. No longer, verse 20. The context have not changed.
Nigga,
It's
that
talking about the
nigga,
same damn
hold
people.
on.
I
Hold
I'm
on.
reading. What the hell do you mean?
Stop trying to
Hold on
skate
while
past
I'm
the
reading
end
the
of verse
Bible.
19. Brother,
How the hell is you holding me
brother,
on?
the
What
point
the
is the
fuck am
end
I
of verse
holding on for?
19.
I am reading the Bible. What
Brother,
you
Hey,
you're
mean,
trying to
hold
skate
hey,
on?
past.
hold on.
Go
Let
ahead,
let
Jack. Go
Jack
ahead,
finish
Jack.
because
Hey, if the
What the
I'm
hell is
scripture
this
is
really
nigga got
being,
going on?
yeah, if the
yo.
scripture
Let
being
Jack
read, we
land
usually don't
and then
interrupt the
Tally
scripture.
get back in there.
Yeah,
You
there
Right?
you
know
go.
you
Salakia,
getting your
y'all. I
ass
try to
cut,
get
nigga.
him
How the
to
hell is you
stop at the verse,
interrupting the
y'all.
scripture
Salakia,
talking about
y'all.
hold on?
No sweat,
Yeah,
Tyler.
yeah.
No
Everybody,
sweat.
Go ahead, Jack. Jack, finish,
Yeah,
and
Jack.
so Tally can get in there.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jack.
Fine.
So this is simple. It's talking about the Israelites. That's why this nigga want to hold on. Verse 20. No longer will a nursing infant live but a few days, or an old man fail to live out his years. It's telling you that people gonna live their whole life. For the youth will die at 100 years, and he who fails to reach 100 will be considered accursed. And this is the BLB. It is talking about a sinner in your precious KJV. You can't run to another translation, fuck boy. You stuck. Verse 21. They will build houses and dwell in them. Deuteronomy 28, the curses say that the people is gonna build houses and somebody else gonna live in them. Isaiah chapter 65 and 21 is showing you they will build houses and dwell in them. That's the opposite of Deuteronomy 28. They will plant vineyards and eat their fruit. Deuteronomy 28 say you're gonna plant vineyards and somebody else gonna eat your fruit. So we know for a fact this talking about Israel because the curses is literally being lifted. Some of these other translations say the accursed right here in verse 20, but clearly, once again, it's Israelites and it's talking about somebody that's a sinner. You could go to any translation you want. Your Jeremiah 31 and 31, where it say the people ain't gonna die no more, and you saying that's the new covenant, you clearly got a problem that you're not gonna be able to explain your way out of. Because even in your own view, while you holding on to Jeremiah 31, Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 33 to 38 show that that's us going in the new covenant, which you already agreed with. Isaiah 65 and 20 is showing you that they got sinners after we walk in the covenant that you agree with. So it don't matter. Don't ask me no damn question. You have to reconcile your position. Don't ask me shit. I can explain what's going on, explain the 1,000 year kingdom, take you to Ezekiel chapter 40 through 48, and show you that the laws are going to be reinstituted for the Israelites and the other nations. And people are going to be dying in that 1,000 year kingdom when we are in the new covenant that you agree with. So you got to fix that understanding, brother.
Okay, brother, really quick.
Don't ask me no
Now,
questions.
look, like this nigga's so scared. Yo, y'all ever seen a nigga trying
Let's
to
see.
talk his way out of a ass
Good,
whooping? He's like, brother,
good,
come on,
brother.
brother. We can just talk about this. Brother, you're
Linda,
just
Linda,
avoiding
Linda,
the
Yeah, you can
please.
talk.
inevitable.
You can talk.
Listen,
Go ahead and
just
talk.
relax.
Don't ask me no questions till you
Hold on,
reconcile
calm
the
down.
position. Then you
It's
can
okay.
ask me
It's
5
okay.
questions.
Okay,
Zach,
brother.
yield. Go ahead, Tally.
So I asked the brother
Don't
one
ask me
simple
no
thing, right?
questions, nigga.
That shit crazy, man.
Watch.
This
Bet
nigga's
20. Bet,
face.
bet $20. This nigga start asking me questions. Explain your
You know,
position.
hey, he's
Don't
gonna
ask
try.
me shit.
All right, listen, brother, chill. All right, calm down, Jack. All right, it's like it, but not. Right, verse dang, Isaiah 65, verse 17, right? Or I mean, verse 19. This is why I try to jump in, just so I get clarity, right, brother? I'm not gonna go on a long ass speech. We're gonna get straight to it, right? Verse 19, Isaiah 65. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem and joy in my people, and the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. So I believe what this is saying is Israel can't be under a curse at this time because there's going to be no more weeping or crying. In the next verse, it starts talking about the sinners is going to die and them being cursed. Jack, are you saying at the same time where Israel is the voice of weeping is going to be wiped away, is going to be taken away, no more voice of crying? Are you saying some of them are still going to be cursed? Is that what you're saying, brother?
No, that's what the Bible's saying, and I agree with it.
Oh, okay. So there's okay. So no more weeping or wine, no more weeping or crying, but they're still going to be under curses, right?
That's read the verse. That's exactly what the verse say. I agree with what the Bible say. I believe.
Okay, brother. So in the new, so in let me just go to Deuteronomy 30, right? Because this is what I was saying earlier, right? And somebody just sent me this too. Hold on, watch this. In Deuteronomy 30, what's going to happen is going to be a reversal of roles, and there's a whole bunch of other verses that also support this. But that is the gospel, right? That's all preached throughout Isaiah. That's preached everywhere. But let's go to Deuteronomy 30, right? In verse 1, and it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations whither the Lord thy God have driven thee, and shalt return unto the Lord thy God, and shalt obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children with all thy heart and with all thy soul. Then, it's lucky, verse 3, that then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither the Lord thy God hath scattered thee. Brother, is this the same time frame as Ezekiel 20? Is it talking about them being gathered before they go into the bond or covenant?
Nah, I don't think Deuteronomy 30 talking about that. Deuteronomy 30 could be talking about after the Babylonian and the Syrian captivity, the people got regathered and brought back in the land from everywhere they were scattered to at that time.
Okay. Okay,
That
so you don't
happened.
think
That
that
happened
this
in
has
multiple. That happened after. That's
okay,
Deuteronomy. That's happening. That's happening immediately right there when they come out of Egyptian captivity. When you
okay.
go to Judges chapter 3 and look at verse 1 through 6, they gonna go into captivity under the king of Eglon, the king of Moab, and Cushan Rishathaim. They gonna cry out to the Lord. They gonna get brought back from them two captivities. They gonna get brought back from Assyrian captivity, according to Second Chronicles, when the people break out of Assyria, when they get the letters in Second Chronicles chapter 30. They gonna get bought out of Babylonian captivity. That Deuteronomy 30 gonna happen several times
Exactly. Okay, perfect. So that's what I was gonna ask you anyway.
in the
Yeah,
in the
check your
old
back check.
covenant. But you still asking me
Good
questions.
dog,
You
fall
not
back,
you
good
not
dog.
proving you not proving that them Isaiah 65 and 20 is not Israelites. Corey came in and broke it down properly. That's where we at right now. I just gave the context in Isaiah
So I
65
don't know
where
what the brother
you
Corey
tried to
said
say I
because I
was
was on the
running,
phone call.
and I showed you that in Isaiah 65 that's talking about Israelites. Your
brother.
job
Where
right
did
now is
brother?
to
Where did
prove
you
that the
show that,
people in
brother?
Isaiah 65 is not Israelites. But you keep
Brother,
asking me questions and you're not answering shit. You
brother.
got to prove the people in Isaiah 65 is Israelites, and you can do that without asking me a goddamn question.
Okay, but
Stop
brother, I don't
asking me
think,
questions.
brother, I don't think anybody agrees with you on the stage that Israelites are going to be
Brother,
cursed
you're
in the
damn
new
lie.
covenant.
The Bible agree with me, and you're supposed to
Tally,
be
when
proving
you was
that they
gone,
not Israelites right now.
one
You
second,
got to
Trilla.
prove
Hey,
that without asking me questions.
right, Tally, when you was on the phone with Corey and myself, Echo was at the point that y'all at is in this chapter. Trilla's position is that these are Israelites. Your position is that they're not Israelites. So basically, whoever substantiates their point establishes the point. So that's why Triller keeps saying you have to prove that these are not Israelites, because his position is if these are Israelites, then there's death in the New Testament. That's his position.
Yeah, but I agree. So my
All
argument is
right,
that the Israelites
if
aren't.
you agree, I yield. I'm done.
Yeah, but
Well,
my under. You said what?
you said you
So
agree
anyway,
with
If
him.
you
Now,
it's
agree, I
okay,
yield.
yeah,
I'm
just
yeah,
for
done.
the
yeah,
record,
yeah,
Tally, I don't know
because
if you
Cut your ass just
agree.
like Captain
so
Tazaryach.
let me
I can
answer.
prove
So
my
let me
point.
answer clearly,
Somebody
right?
else can talk now.
So let me answer clearly, right? I don't think the Israelites are going to be cursed, right? If you read Isaiah 65 and verse 19, right, what it says, no, verse 20, what it says is, there shall be no more thence an infant of days, nor an old man that hath not filled his days. Right. So what, and you can read any other translation you want to. It makes it a little more clear than in this King's English, but it's not saying people are going to be literally. Brother, mute your mic. It's not saying they're going to be literally immortal, because why would it say in verse 20, nor an old man that hath not filled his days? How do you fill your days? You're going to live your full lifespan. At the end of your lifespan, you're still going to die.
You just
But
killed
what it says,
yourself, Tally.
no, I
That's what
don't.
I'm
Why?
saying,
Because
nigga. That's
look,
body bag. Get
no,
your two
watch
body
this.
bags
Watch
in a
this.
row,
Listen.
nigga.
Listen, because if you keep reading, for the child shall die 100 years old, but the sinner. So what it's saying is, if you died 100 years old, it's going to be like a baby died, because 100, nigga, that's super young. That's what it's trying to say. And you can read it any translation. That's what it's going to say. But you keep reading. But the sinner, being 100 years old, shall be accursed. So what I'm saying is, the Israelites are going to be living their full lifespan, extended,
The
expanded
what?
long
The
lifespans.
sinner.
No, brother. I said the Israelites are going to be living their full lifespan, whatever people teach, 1,000 years, or whatever you think it is going to be. But the nations, or the sinners, the other nations, the people who are still going to be cursed, because when the curses get put on the other nations, because that's a part of the gospel, is the curses being lifted off of Israel and be put on other nations. So the curse are going to die at 100. That's my position. Those are the other nations. I'm not saying Israelites are going to be super immortals. That's not my position.
So
They're just going
Tyler,
to
you
live their
saying to
full
die?
lifespan.
So just because they live longer to die in a later age, that ain't weeping? Because your original argument was based off verse 19. So you're saying that in verse 19, you said, well, based on verse 19, he says, "I will rejoice in Jerusalem and joy in my people, and the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying." So you're saying that's not going to apply, because then they're not going to die early; they just going to die at a later age.
That
Yeah, so that's not a curse, right? If the Most High tells you that
Okay.
he's, yeah. So if the Most High tells you he's gonna pour blessings upon blessings on you, and you're gonna live until you're an old man, die peacefully. You're not cursed. You're not weeping and crying. You're actually getting your full lifespan, and the Most High is keeping His promise to you. That's
and
not.
let's not get gaslit about the
Yeah,
Deuteronomy 30 point that he just made. That's the point. That's who's being cursed. The
it's the
curses are
other
being put
nations.
on the other nations. So those are the people, the sinners, who are going to be accursed. You can't play and say that new heavens and new earth were as for Jack, that's what Jack said. Jack said, "New heavens and new earth is pertaining to the Israelites in Revelation 21." He said that. So if that is the case, it also means that there's no more death during that part for the Israelites because it's pertaining to the Israelites. So they can't die. So again, those people who are being accursed in Isaiah 65 are the other nations because that's prophecy about the Israelites being gathered from every nation out of the outermost parts of heaven, right? So that's beyond the borders of where they were sent after Babylon. And that confirms that when Christ said you will be scattered into all nations,
Other nations.
that's a curse in a curse in Leviticus and Deuteronomy, showing that we're being suffering from the curses in the Old Testament, and that us being brought back and not having to suffer curses ever again, not having to suffer death ever again, is us being in the new covenant. That's the proof of that. Don't gaslight me like, oh, that could be anything. That could be, the Assyrian kingdom, and that could be, that could be Greek. Who
So
knows?
Jake
Like, we're
in
not gonna
verse
play that
Nah,
game.
you can't say there's no gaslight. When I said that shit, he agreed. The hell is you talking about?
so Jake in verse 21 when it says, "And they shall build houses and inhabit them." Who is the they? Is it not picking up off from the previous verses
Yes,
20?
you
Who's they in
and
verse
Jack
21?
and Jack also said that they
No,
built.
I'm asking you. Who do you believe they
I'm
is in verse
answering. I'm
21?
answering. I'm answering. I'm answering.
Go
I'm
ahead.
answering. Jack even said that those people are building houses. The curses mean they'll build houses but won't live in them. So that shows that that's a confirmation that these individuals, these Israelites, are being blessed. They're building our houses and are having the ability to live in them. Or, as the gospel said, they will build the old waste or repair the waste cities of former desolation. That's the confirmation of the gospel, the confirmation of those curses in Leviticus being lifted.
Right. So
Or
okay, cool.
Daniel,
So I'm just
or
asking. So
Daniel
when
with
it
the
says
saints
they,
taking the
so
kingdom and
y'all take
possessing
is
it
when it
forever
says
and ever.
they. That is who. I just want to make sure I understand you. The
Yeah, but
they
the
is
sinners aren't the they. We're not even going to play that.
okay. So
The
the
sinners
sinners in verse
are the other
20
nations.
isn't it? It's talking about someone in verse 20
Yeah,
completely different from verse 21, but it picks
right.
up in verse 21 as they.
It does that a lot, where it's going to show the cursed people, because you have to understand in context, this is new heaven and new earth. So now that should expand your mind. If you studied other parts of the Bible, you understand the condition or the state or the what do Christians say? They say we're in
Kingdom
a new
connotation.
dispensation. We're in
So
this
is the they in
dispensation.
verse 22 the same in verse 21?
Hold on, let me the
In
the
verse
day
22,
verse.
they shall not build and another inhabit. They shall not plant and another eat. For as the days
Yeah,
of a
that's
tree are the day.
obviously, if you know that, that's the curse. This is
Oh,
quoting the Torah. You know that, right?
I understand. I'm just trying to get your
Okay.
take. What I'm trying to understand is
Yeah.
when it's like if you're giving an example and you're talking about your school that you teach, or if you expound on a particular school, and then after that you say and yeah, and they do such and such and such and such. Why would I think you're talking about a completely different group of people?
Because in verse 19 it literally said, or in verse 19 it literally says, the voice of weeping and crying is no more going to be heard in Israel, right? This is also echoed in Isaiah. Let me see, it's in a couple chapters before, I think 60.
Yeah, that would be a contradiction. If people are sinning and
Yeah.
dying, then that would be a contradiction of no more weeping and crying. That doesn't make any sense. We can't force this point to be made. We
But no,
know
y'all
But the
we
argument
curse
isn't.
understand
though,
what we're saying.
That's not the argument y'all making. Y'all essentially saying y'all believe that Israelite. If I'm understanding Tally correctly, he's saying okay, he do believe that there's going to be sin and death. He just don't believe people are going to die at a particular
no,
age.
no, 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 no,
No,
no, no,
no,
no.
no, no.
Hold on, Jake. Let me just clear it up
Clear it
real
up.
quick.
Clear it up.
So I believe the Israelites are going to be in glorified bodies, living their full lifespan in the land as promised. And the ones where in verse 20 where it says the cursed are going to live until 100,
Mhm.
that's the other nations, because the curses were taken off of Israel and put on other nations.
So
Yeah,
That's
will
why
the
there
Israelites?
being no more dying and
So
no
real
more
quick, because
death
I'm
only
understanding Tally.
pertains to
I
the
want to understand
Israelites
Tally real
based
quick,
off
Jake.
of what Jack
So
said
Tally. So
about
will the
Refuting.
glorified Israelite sin in the kingdom? Will a glorified Israelite sin?
Oh my God.
no, no,
Okay, can you
because
give me it? Can you
because
demonstrate anywhere in the Bible where we have death without sin?
you said what?
We're Hold on a
I'm
second.
asking.
Because
Hold on, Jake. I'm asking Tally a question
because
based on what he said.
because the other
So hold
nations
on.
are
Hear my
still going to be
question,
sinning.
Tally. Can you demonstrate anywhere in the Bible from old to the new where we have death without sin?
Brother, it
He's
says the
gaslighting.
sinner
Yes
is
or
going to
no?
die
That's
at
a yes or
100 and
no
be
question.
accursed.
And can you take me to
Brother,
the verse?
brother, can you not hear what I'm trying to tell you?
Go ahead. I'm
It
sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't
in
hear you. Go
verse
ahead.
20 it says the sinner accursed being accursed will die at 100.
I'm
So
See,
going. I just
so
asked
those
you.
are the
So
other
okay,
nations. They're
that's
cursed
not
and
what I
they're dying at
asked you,
100.
Tally. I didn't ask you that. I asked you. Will you say you believe those in a glorified state will not sin, but they will die? So I asked you, okay, with the Israelites in a glorified state sin? You said no. So now I'm asking you, where in the Bible does this suggest, or do we see an example of death without sin?
Brother, do you believe in
oh,
Christ?
did
Have
Christ die without
have you ever heard of
sin?
I'm about to
Christ?
leave my family.
Have you ever heard of
I'm
Christ?
visiting family.
Jesus,
I'm about to jump, but give
Jesus,
me a
yeah,
second. I'm about to
imagine
Brother,
leave.
this.
have you ever
Boy,
heard
get
of
out of here. Get out of here.
I just asked a
Let
clear
me
question.
preach the
Okay,
gospel
all
to
right,
this
Tyler.
brother.
Let me
Do
ask
you
Jake.
want to?
I'll
Do
ask
you
Jake
want
the
to hear
same
the good
question.
news of our Lord and Savior?
And
Right.
so Jake,
This is
what do you
Jesus,
bad,
mean,
get
Lord
bro.
and
get off
Savior? Did
me.
This
Christ
is
sin?
Did he die?
Stupid.
No.
Okay, so
Did
that
he
makes
die,
my
Dre?
point.
Did he
Dre, did
die?
he die? Yes or no?
So hold on,
Get
but
out.
exact
Dre, did he
Christ
die?
did
Yes
not
or
Go
no?
to
sin.
your family.
No,
Dre,
Christ didn't sin. Christ did, and Christ
did he
did die.
die?
And
Imagine
Christ
that.
did die, and Christ did make himself in the. See how I can answer your question? See what I'm
Thank you.
saying?
I
Okay,
appreciate
so but we know Christ was an atonement for the nation of Israel. It says he was made a curse. So even according to scriptures, it says Christ was made a curse. So can you show anywhere
Damn,
in the
that was
Bible where someone died, where people were dying, but they did not sin?
it. Did Elijah die?
You
Show
know.
me the book. Show me the book chapter verse that you're referencing.
Did Elijah die?
Dre,
No,
that
Elijah,
word what you
Enoch. I
just
didn't see
said.
where Elijah died. It says they were translated. But that my
Can
question
your
to
can
you
your
is,
body can
hold
your
on.
body
I
can
asked you,
can
Jake. Can
can
you
can
show where
flesh?
people died and they
I'm
didn't
trying to
sin?
tell you. I'm trying to show you. Did Elijah die?
So you're
Yes
saying,
or no?
okay, so you're saying Elijah didn't sin.
Did Can you show me a book chapter verse where he
Are
sinned?
you
I
saying
wouldn't be
Elijah
able
didn't
to.
sin? Yes or no?
I would say a lot. I have no book chapter or
Whatever
verse
you put in
where
the
I can
queue, I'm
accuse
just here for
Elijah
a
of
quick
sin.
pack up.
You have no book chapter and verse where you. Okay, cool. Now I'm gonna reference a verse. Let me get a verse real quick. Oh, I got you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me get a verse.
Hey, that Jesus being made a curse was a fucking bar. Wow.
Super Bar.
He gonna
Hey,
Hey, I
run.
just
I don't
want
know
to
hey,
be
why they
put.
Brian,
playing that.
why
I
you
just
grabbing that verse? Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah,
I'm
and
about
after that, I
to
just
put
want to
this
be.
in the spam. Y'all,
Just,
give me a
After that, I just want
just
to be put. After that, I just want to be put in the queue. I just want to get a
Yeah,
quick pack up real quick.
while Ronnie brings that
Um,
out, let me ask one
we're
quick
on
question.
people's
Hold on.
necks now. We're
hold
figuring
on.
this
I
shit
I
out.
was about to ask a question.
Rearrange it.
Hold on. Good dog, bro. You trying to jump in, trying to, you know what I'm saying? Trying to mix it up. Hold on, King. Let me just ask one question. Dre, did Abraham sin?
Give me one sec. I'm getting a verse right now. I'm getting a verse, but I know you probably going to the
You
apocrypha.
you
Hold on,
Google? Are
I'm
you
with you.
googling? Did Elijah sin?
I'm with you, Tyler. I know you're going to the apocrypha. I'm ready for all that. But just give me a
Did
sec. I'm
you
finna
go?
bounce.
Are you
I'm
googling?
gonna get the
Dre,
verse that I'm about to
yes or no?
reference right now. So
Dre, yes or no? Are you
we'll
googling?
definitely
Did
bring it out.
Elijah sin?
We'll bring it out.
Yes. You're
But y'all
figuring
can
it
go
out.
ahead, bring it
Okay.
out.
All right,
Go ahead,
this is a
Vidal.
quick
Hey,
question.
hey, listen, man. Corey, hey, brother Corey, please stop sending me examples of people who died without sinning, brother. Please. Please, Corey. Just stop, brother. It's too many examples. Please.
My question is, because y'all talking about going under the bond of the new covenant in Ezekiel 20 and Zechariah 13. I mean Zechariah 12. Does Zechariah 12 happen, after they're into the new covenant according to Ezekiel 20? Just for the Zechariah 12 is when they're back in the land and the Most High gathers all nations against Jerusalem. Does this happen when they're in the new covenant?
Why is everybody scared of
Let's.
the old T only now?
I didn't hear the question. Ask it again, Swaki.
Who's that?
Who,
Who's that
who asked
question
the
for?
question?
Are you asking everybody in the room?
It's for y'all. Because
What was the
y'all,
question?
y'all you go into the new bonded in the covenant in the wilderness before you go into the land in Ezekiel
Oh,
20. And in Zechariah 12, they're back in the land in the future, and the Most High gathers all nations against Jerusalem. So I'm trying to understand, are they in the new covenant in Zechariah 12?
I see you pressed it out like Uzi Vert.
huh?
Who said that?
You pressed the
Both
beard
Damn.
out in your hair, Uzi Vert.
Uzi Vert.
Who the fuck
What
said
does
I
that
that
wouldn't
mean?
shit?
use Uzi Vert. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
what
that,
that means.
Don't get
I'm
sidetracked.
lost on that.
I'm just saying, bro, prolific. You pressed your beard out.
oh.
Don't.
The full Uzi
So,
Vert.
Oh my god.
nah, I didn't. That's just how my beard is, man. But I'm just y'all got my question though.
Hey,
All
Cap,
right.
hook
Yeah.
them
So
up,
you're
man.
asking
All
if
right.
the holy war that's happening and there's going to be people who are going to be mourning, are they in the new covenant? That's what you're
Yeah,
asking, right?
yes, because that's happening when they're back into the land. So the wilderness situation has had to happen already.
I think this is the
I got a
actually
precept too.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm Go ahead, Tyler. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't. Yes, like it. Now, y'all can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but my understanding of that whole part, right? I linked this up, or well, Ezekiel 38, or do you think that this is the same time frame, though? Ezekiel 38?
No,
No.
no.
Okay. Well, let me read it. Ezekiel 38, right? Verse 10. Thus saith the Lord God, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into my mind. I mean, so I come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates, to take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, right? Those are those desolate places that are, they're not habitable. They've been built up, right? Keep going. And, or, at least they're in the process of that happening. And upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, who the people, I say Israel, which have gotten cattle and goods that dwell in the midst of the land. Now, let me jump down, right, real quick, just to get to the point.
You're
For,
reading this to answer my question, right?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you can, I'm sorry, if you think you got a better understanding, definitely
No,
bring it
I
up.
actually, my
Yeah.
question was simple.
Yeah, yeah. This is to answer that. Verse 14. Therefore, son of man, prophesy and say unto God, thus saith the Lord God, in that day when my people of Israel dwelleth safely, thou
And
shalt not.
this is after they're already into the new covenant, correct?
Right.
Okay, so you answer my question. All
I
right, so
mean, in the wilderness, yeah, yeah. I would say once they're back in the land, they're going to dwell safely.
and,
They're not going to be harmed.
they're under the new covenant when they're back in the land, correct?
Right.
Okay, so when we go to Zechariah 14,
Hold on, brother. Let me keep reading.
okay,
So anyway, real
you
quick,
you
right?
answered my question. That's all I needed.
Oh, I
I
will. I
agree
would
with
just.
you there. I agree with you there under the new
Yeah,
covenant when they're back in the land.
Tally just wants to argue.
Yeah, like now,
Damn,
so
Tally.
now my
That
next
right
question.
didn't sound too confident.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so now in
All right, go.
Zechariah 14, they're back in the land. They're under the new covenant. What is this that's happening? Zechariah 14, 1 and 2. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh. Thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee, for I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle. The city shall be taken, the houses raffled, the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity. Why is the city being taken? Why are they going back and forth in captivity when they're into the land under the new covenant? If there's no more sin going.
That's because that ain't the new covenant right there.
I don't even know why would you say that's a new covenant if that's a contradiction to it. Why would you say that or allude to that?
I don't think it's a contradiction. I'm asking you guys.
So if
Do
it's a
you agree with
in the new,
LaRon? Do you agree with LaRon that that's not the new covenant?
I don't know. I don't. I'm not trying to argue with him. I don't know if he's playing or not. But I'm saying if the people are going to be taken into captivity
I'm
in
asking
this,
you guys a question for your understanding. My understanding is in
mm,
the future, you go to
mm,
Ezekiel, you're going to go into a wilderness,
mm,
right? You're going to get brought into the bond of the covenant. You go
right,
into the land with Tally read, Ezekiel 38. Gog and Magog comes up against the people. The Most High destroys Gog and Magog on the mount. After
mm,
that, you have another war into the land where you get Zechariah 12. And I know you guys as Christian believers, Zechariah 12, right here in this verse, it says, uh this is Zechariah 12, and it says, in that day I will make governors of Judah like a heart of fire among the wood, like a torch of fire, blah blah blah. Verse 7, the Lord shall save the tents of Judah first, the glory of the house of David, the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem. Do not magnify themselves against Judah. And that day the Lord shall defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he is feeble among them shall be as David, he as the house of David shall be as God, as angels of the Lord before them. And then you get down to the whole person being pierced. All you guys say, look, right here, Jesus is gonna come back, the people gonna see him that he's pierced, and everybody's gonna mourn for him. So I know for sure in you guys' belief that this is the future when the people go back into the land. And
right,
according to what you guys been
That's my
teaching all day,
position,
hold
but
on,
that's the
hold
covenant.
on, LeBron, I'm not talking to you. According to what you guys been teaching all day, before they go back into the land, they're in the wilderness and they go under the bond of the covenant. So if Zechariah is talking about back in the land and they're under the bond of the covenant, which you guys agreed to, what's happening in Zechariah 14 when they're under the new covenant?
Damn.
Can't hear y'all if y'all talking.
Hey, so,
Damn.
Yeah, we
but
can't hear you. We can't hear. Not you, LaRon. This question ain't to you,
no,
LaRon. Wait
I
a
know
second.
the dog ain't trying to take no shot at the New Testament because
No,
I'm
no, no,
not
no. You don't
taking no
even know what
shot
the
at the
Yeah,
new.
you don't
argument
know what the
is, so
argument
stop
is.
talking.
I
Yeah,
ain't
you don't
making.
even know what the argument is. Just be quiet. Let's get this silence going.
And for the record, while just for the record, while LeBron is up here, LeBron believes the people that's in the
God
land.
damn, crickets.
LeBron believes the
Is that
people that's in
Silence
the
of the
land, right?
Lambs?
Hold
Yeah.
on. LeBron believes the people that's in the land are the true Jews, and they're experiencing Zechariah 14 now. So I know y'all don't agree with LeBron, so y'all can't get LeBron to help y'all
Got
with
him,
that
Yeah.
part, with that
got
part of the
him,
breakdown.
Hang on. Hold
So
on.
I
Hold on, big
Yeah.
want
dog.
you guys to,
It's like
I want you
crickets out
Mighty
guys
this
to
bad.
got
motherfucker,
him,
man.
got him.
Damn, everybody getting
God
packed up.
damn.
All right,
Damn.
I'm back. I don't know.
There
Damn,
you go.
dog.
Fight back, brother.
Yeah, fight back, brother.
Nigga, don't tell me to fight back. Anyway, I'm.
This why I love this nigga, man. I love this nigga.
Hey, yo, cut my nigga, y'all.
I love this nigga. I
Man, that
love
nigga's
this
insane,
nigga.
man.
Hey,
Ask Tally. I bring Tally everywhere I go. Ask her. He'll tell
yeah,
you. I love this nigga, man. Go ahead, Tally. Fight back, brother. Go ahead, fight back.
this nigga funny. That's right. I didn't catch the cut. What's the cut? The cut is that all nations are going to get brought against Jerusalem and get fucked up. That's the curse. I mean, that's the contradiction.
no. I've been listening, right? You guys said that in the new covenant, the Israelites not dying, the Israelites not sinning. You said it's the other
Mm-hmm.
nations sinning. So when
Yes.
I
Correct.
heard that, I'm like, okay, according to Zechariah, when the children of Israel are in the land in the future under the new covenant, you have a situation in Zechariah 14 where, let's read it, behold,
Mm-hmm.
the day of cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. And Tyler, you agree that Zechariah 12, Zechariah 13 is in the land when they're under the new covenant,
Do you
correct?
Yeah,
hold
but
on?
where
Hold
you
on a
at
second.
in Zechariah 14?
He's at the top. He's
I'm
at the
asking
top.
a
All
simple
right.
question. Do
Mhm.
we understand or believe that Zechariah 12, 13, and 14 is when the children of Israel is back in the land?
I think Zechariah 14 in the beginning is that not talking about 70 AD? Let me read it real quick. Because don't they talk about them the city being ravished or something?
This is what Christ quoted, right?
Okay.
Right. Hold
So
on.
Zechariah 14 is
When he says verse 5, it says, and flee to the mountains, right?
okay. So in
And ye shall
Zechariah
flee.
14, when the Most High comes down and stand in the Mountain of Olives and the mountain is broken in half, that happened already?
No. And what part are you getting at?
That's Zechariah 14, verse 4. And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east, and the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof toward the east and toward the west, and there shall be a very great valley, and half of the mountain shall remove toward the north, and half toward the east. The Mount of Olives split. Are you telling me
Yeah.
Zechariah 14 happened during 70 AD?
Do you
So
think? Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Zelvin. Sorry. Go ahead.
yeah. So I don't think the whole part about Christ coming back, because if I'm not wrong, that's also talked about in Amos, if I'm not wrong. Um, Christ's appearance. Just so you can get an understanding, I believe all nations are going to be at war. This is still going to happen in the future. All nations are going to be at war, and then
So Zechariah 14 does happen in the future and not 70 AD.
Y'all getting packed
not
up by
not all of it,
Pharisee.
brother. Brother, you're taking one line out of there and saying, okay, cool. So if this is 70 AD,
I'm
then
just
that means
trying to
everything happened in the past.
I'm
No,
trying to understand what you're understanding. So you saying
yeah. So let me say it clearly again.
okay.
I don't think everything happened already happened. I think the 70 AD part already happened.
And what part of here is 70 AD?
Whenever Jerusalem, let me get back to it, Slovakia. Zechariah 14, verse
Hey, Mikhail, ping your little friend, by the
2.
way.
Hey, don't.
Verse 2, for I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the rest of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall the Lord go forth and fight against those nations. Uh, 2, that was. And
So verses 1 and 2 happened, but verse 3 didn't happen.
exactly.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't understand.
I'm crying.
Oh, all right,
Because
Tally.
What's what's
Captain
what's the
Tazari does not
what's the
believe that
crazy
when
part
we
about it?
go. Hold on, Captain Tazari does not believe that when we go into the
How
wilderness
come when I be
that we're going
talking
to
to
Hey,
get our
don't
y'all
put me
Yahweh.
in it. Hey,
Hey,
don't
man,
put me
Cap,
in it.
hold
Hold
it.
I ain't
on,
got
You
you.
said
I
help
ain't
me,
got
You
Cap.
nothing to
didn't hear.
do.
Help
I
me,
ain't got
Cap.
nothing to do
So
with this
Pelicans,
here.
That boy,
Pelicans,
I
he
ain't got
can't.
nothing.
Help
that
me,
boy
Cap.
need
Don't
a
put me in it.
shield. He asking
He in
for
here
Yeah.
help right
cheerleading,
now.
but don't
Don't no
agree.
no no.
We in
Y'all
here
truth
cheerleading,
mafia.
but
Y'all
don't
stand
agree.
alone. Don't
We
put me in
are,
it.
but just
Okay, there
mind
you
you,
go.
he in here cheerleading, but he does not agree with that. He in here cheerleading though. So don't get twisted. Don't get
Hey, you
all
know how
feelings.
debates go, right? You can pick a side in a
I
debate.
understand. It's all
Okay, no
about fighting.
sweat.
I
So y'all
agree.
got to
So
win the debate, and right now
it's the
you got
Kumite.
ISUBK, ABT, Old Testament Israelite just packing up.
Whooping
It's like them
ass.
white supremacists on YouTube who is doing that Kumite, right? Like I understand. Like it's that. Go ahead, tell.
Yeah,
Well,
And
Tyler,
be
again this
and
verse. I want to
Taliban,
read something.
be confident because Gadal is confident. Be confident because you know what's
Tyler, tell that
happening.
man don't
Damn,
tell you how to be
not a
no,
moral
confident, man. That man,
That
support.
boy
Tyler, don't let him
no,
talk,
that's
man.
okay.
Not him
Nigga,
giving him moral support.
He give you,
because this because this
you
shit
like
is
your
Nigga, this
morale
because
low.
this
mind you,
conversation. I mean,
Dre also don't believe this either. So
I
don't
don't
get it
know.
Yeah,
twisted. He just
it's
cheerleading.
not. You don't know my position,
Oh, he
man.
looking
But I know
for a
you don't believe it.
scapegoat.
I
I
know. You don't
believe
believe it.
y'all getting
Go ahead.
y'all
Hey,
asses
all
whooped.
this
That's what
is
I
a
I
believe.
don't know.
distraction.
I don't
What
know. I
what
don't know why
somebody
y'all saying.
believe and not believe is not has nothing to do with this subject. That's just a distraction. Just get on subject. Y'all in the
Yeah,
battle.
Hey,
I
can
ain't
I
never
yeah.
been in a battle and said this brother don't believe that. I ain't never
can I
did
read
that.
something real quick? Can I read something real
Please.
quick?
Hold on.
Yes.
Hold
Let
on,
me
really
read
quick.
that.
Hold on,
Hold
really
on.
Okay.
quick.
Hold on. Hold on.
Yeah, real quick because I'm not sure why is it so
Oh,
hard
we know
to.
you're not sure.
You said what, brother?
I just said we know
All
you're
right,
not
anyway.
sure.
All right, all right,
Christina
anyway.
says, stay up, Kane.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay because right, so when you keep reading, I don't think all of this is happening at the same time in chronological order. I mean, you can say that, but that's not my understanding. Because if you keep reading, um, verse 9, no, let me go to verse 11.
You should keep reading before verse 11, and then you'll see
Hold
what's going on
on.
there.
Brother, go on mute, right? Verse 12. And this shall be the plague. I'm gonna go to verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume
Hey,
away in
Tally,
their
is that
mouth.
talking about the people from verse 1 and verse?
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think so. So at one point in this passage, all nations come against Jerusalem or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Jerusalem is sacked or sieged, and then it tells you 1/4 of the city is gonna go here, 1/3 is gonna stay in the city, right? And then they're gonna flee to the mountains, all that good stuff. In the earlier chapter, in the earlier part of this chapter, but in verse 12, is this not a whole different theme, a whole different tone? Instead of Jerusalem being sacked and them being carried away. Now read verse 20. Or you know what? Let's go up. Let's start at verse 9. And the Lord shall be God over all the earth in that day. There shall be one Lord, and his name one. All the land shall be turned as a plain from the blood from the gate of Jerusalem, and it shall be lifted up and inhabited in her place from Benjamin's gate unto the place of the first gate, unto the corner gate, and from the tower of Hananel unto the king's wine presses. And men shall dwell in it, and there shall be no more utter destruction, but Jerusalem shall be safely inhabited. Is this the theme of verse 1, 2, 3 when it's talking about Jerusalem being seized and 1/3 of the city being carried away in captivity? And all that stuff. No,
Yeah.
there's a whole different tone. So
Tally,
if you
let me
keep
help you
reading,
out. Let me help you out.
hold on, brother, really quick. Let's keep reading. Verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. I don't think this part happened. So I'm saying I don't think this whole entire chapter is talking about 70 AD, and y'all niggas laughing about, oh my god, nigga, you don't think the whole chapter is 70 AD? No, nigga, this
The
part didn't happen
the
yet.
reason why I laughed at you because none of this is talking about 70
Yeah,
AD.
that is funny right there, yo.
That's the bad part.
I told him he been whooping his own ass the whole
I
night.
so
He been whooping his
when
own ass.
when you
I
go
so bring
to
it out.
when you go to Zechariah 12, right? And it talks about this war that happens when all nations come against the city, and and the Most High pour out the spirit of power on the people, and they fight against the nations, and they whoop on the people and things like that. This is the same thing that Zechariah 14 is talking about. It's just more detail. So we know Zechariah 12 ain't happening. And then when you go to Zechariah 13, it's the same context. In that day, there should be a fountain open to the house of David and to the habits of Jerusalem for sin and for uncleanness. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will cut off out of the names of the idols out of the land. So, like, if there's no sin going on in this time period, when they're under the new covenant, why the hell is there idols in the land? Right? Then you get down to verse 9. I will bring the third party through the fire and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold, and they shall call on my name, and I will hear them, and I will say, it is my people, and they shall be the Lord. So right here, even inside the land, 2/3 are being cut off
Okay, so
in the
really
land.
quick, brother. So you're
So
saying that that's in the future,
hold,
right?
hold on real fast. So you see in
I'm
the land,
saying it's in the future,
two
brother.
thir- two
That's it.
thirds are being cut off in the land. Why is that? So
In the
then
future, right?
that's what the Bible say. Then when you get to verse 4, chapter 14, it's the same war from Zechariah 12, the same thing from Zechariah 13. It just gives you more detail about this war when all nations are gathered to Jerusalem. So I'm going to ask you, Tally, in 70 AD, was all nations gathered against Jerusalem? All
Yet
So
did Jesus come and help them out in 70 AD?
no, say that one more time, King. Would you?
I said in 70 AD, was
Mhm.
all nations gathered against Jerusalem?
Not literally, but that doesn't have to be literal in that language. No.
So
Did Yahweh Shah come and help them in
Wow.
70 AD?
yeah,
You said what?
y'all can go ahead.
Did
Tally, you
Yahweh
my
Shah
boy, Tally. I ain't gonna keep going on, but y'all
did
No,
go ahead.
Yahweh
Oh, he
did
want to throw the
Yahweh
brother,
Shah
towel,
come?
man.
brother,
He gonna throw the
brother,
towel like
brother.
Damn.
Apollo
You're
Creed. Don't
brother,
throw the Apollo,
brother,
man. Apollo
brother,
Creed, this nigga, man.
brother. Hey, bro, why is everybody coming off mute whenever
I'm
me and
sorry,
Godal
Yeah,
talk,
Tally. I'm
bro?
Dre don't
sorry.
bel
Just,
Y'all said
I
he
just,
done with
apologize,
it
just
Dre
though.
brother
relax,
Tally. I'm sorry.
cheerleaders. Calm down.
Dre don't
Hold on, calm down. Right, because this nigga made me forget what I was about to say.
Hey, did Yahweh
Um,
Shah
It's all
come and
right,
help
bro.
them in 70 AD,
no, hold
brother?
on. Hold on.
Did he, Tyler?
I was about to say. You said what?
Did Yahweh Shah come and help them in
Wait,
70
wait, 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 hold on. I'm not about to say. I'm about to
AD?
say, good dog. You're the same nigga. Whenever it talks about Israel being scattered into all nations or every nation under the sun or the four corners of the earth, you're the same person who will bring up source documents to mean that that does not literally mean that. It could be in the context of what the person is talking about, right?
Yes, 100%. So in the
Right.
context,
So then, when it says all nations come against Jerusalem, that doesn't mean that the damn Aboriginals from a damn remote island somewhere came up with spears also.
that's not what I meant when I said all
Exactly, but
nations.
that's what you're trying to
Tally,
make it seem
listen,
like.
No,
hold on, Tally,
that's not
listen to
what.
the point. Hey,
Hold
good
on,
dog.
Jake. Jake, hold on, Jake. That's not what I meant when I said all nations. You know my stance on all nations. In
Man, this nigga
context,
getting my money.
it could be talking about the known world at that time. So in context to the Roman time period, did all the known world at that time go and battle against Jerusalem?
I said no
That's a
Yeah,
Okay,
but
valid
so
question. That's a
why did
valid.
you say no to
okay,
that? Why did you say no to that?
because
because he's telling the truth,
Did,
because
Jake.
did,
I don't
didn't didn't didn't
I don't
didn't
He's
think
telling the
Caesar
literally
truth, and he's
Damn,
because
that's
I
speaking
don't
the
Ain't
think
y'all
truth.
insane.
both
Why
in
is he
Truth
telling?
Mafia? Y'all saying
Nah, this
different
brother.
things?
it's
No,
okay. It's
Jake
okay
wants
for
him to
people to not
lie,
know.
and I
Cap
respect
Hold on
Tally.
a
Cap,
second.
you
I'm
better
Tally,
just,
I
Hold
I'm
respect
on.
you,
just
brother.
asking. I'm
Hold on.
just asking.
Cap,
You know, just
Cap,
asking.
you better stop before I ask you if we the
Didn't
new covenant
Caesar
again.
didn't
But
I
Caesar
just beat you
didn't
in that, but
I don't
y'all clearly
no
just had two
no you
different
didn't.
no
understandings.
listen.
Jake
Hold on,
just
Tally.
So
said, "Why would you say that?" That's what
because
Jake
Hold on.
just
I do
said.
not think that literally every single nation had a
No,
army
I
that
get you having a difference of
We
opinion, but the
understand that,
reason I
and
asked if
Gadal
y'all
says
in the
that too.
same group because I would thought y'all would say the same thing. That's
now
why I'm
now
asking.
in the
We just
context.
dudes on the internet. It's okay.
Yeah,
Hold
calm
on.
down.
Oh, so
Didn't
y'all
Caesar
not a
say
real group.
PTR,
I'm
Jake.
thinking when I see Truth Mafia, I'm thinking y'all all
hold
on one
on?
accord.
Okay,
Hey,
okay.
So
Cap,
I,
Cap,
y'all
I, I
Cap, Cap, Cap. You
what's
trying
them
to stall
niggas?
it
Hey
out,
Dre,
Cap?
who them niggas
Cap,
y'all
you trying to
Jack Triller
stall it
He
out
debated?
said,
because
Oh, the Jake
Percepticons.
They
is in
no,
The
hold on, hold on, hold on.
yeah,
Percepticons.
Hold on, hold on,
Percepticons.
everybody, really quick. What this is a case of somebody who got their ass whipped earlier, who's trying to get the attention off of them,
yeah,
right? That's all that
exactly.
is.
That's exactly what
So,
this is.
He said a
so,
So
real
Tally,
group.
didn't
Man,
didn't
that's
oh,
Caesar
they got
exactly what
they
this
got a little
is.
hold
dance
on,
group going. They ain't got no
hold on,
Bible
hold on a
going.
second. hey,
He
Taliban,
said, "Damn."
didn't
Con,
Caesar request all the world to be taxed? Yes or no?
con. Yeah, con.
Oh, so I'm gonna be able to show. I'm gonna ask Captain Desariok that, and he'll have to say yes. He asked the whole world to be taxed, right?
The whole
He's gonna have to say
known,
yes to that.
the whole known world
I
at that
agree with you,
time.
Godal. I
All
agree
right.
with
So my question is, y'all
you.
making it seem like I'm asking y'all an unfair question. I'm
We're not.
asking you,
We're
in context,
yes,
all the known world at that
yes,
time, not the whole world that we know today. The whole known world at that time,
yes.
everybody that's in context, did all those nations in context go against Jerusalem? If
We
you're
were
gonna,
we were compassed with armies, just like it says in Zechariah and it says in
that was the Roman army.
Leviticus.
I'm asking you,
Yeah,
did
you're trying to
all
over
But the
literalize it,
Rome, hold on a second. The Roman
even
army
though you heard the
was
position.
made up of Syrians and
see? I was
Ethiopians and Egyptians. There were a lot of different nations of people who made up those Roman legions. So yes, and
did
you're
the
going to do the research like that.
Wow.
th-
You're going to be able to
this
do
is
research just like you do
crazy.
the research. Hold on a
Hey, so
second.
which
Hold on
truth
a second. But
mafia answer do we
that's
accept?
not the
Yours
point.
or
Hold on a
Tally?
second.
Hey,
That's not
listen.
the
Hey,
point.
listen.
Taliban. He's trying to distract you.
Got the
Trying to
Grand
distract you.
Like
Rising
Trying to
room.
bait you. Listen.
one mic on
Hey,
Jake, please.
Gadol, are we in the new covenant? Yes or
No, yeah, you know I don't believe we're in the new
Uh
covenant, but
oh.
no? So that's all.
Uh oh.
That's my point.
well, you know I
That's my
don't
point.
believe we're in the new covenant.
That's
But
my point.
me and Cap
See
don't
how,
agree. I'm that's so
but
don't
but
even
hold
try to
on a
play that.
second. I understand what
Hold
you're
on,
saying.
hold on. Me and Cap don't
Gadol,
agree. Hold on, real
I
fast.
understand.
Y'all be trying to play semantics. Me and Cap don't agree. We don't have to agree. You and Tally agree,
That's not
and
important
y'all
right now.
No,
disagree
they
on
Hold
that.
don't
on.
agree no
That's
more,
That's
Godal. They gave two
Yeah,
hold
they
on
different
a
don't
second.
answers.
agree.
They do
listen,
not
man.
agree.
Yeah.
Don't
Hey,
say that.
listen,
So
man.
hold
The
on,
scriptures
Hold
say,
on.
can two walk unless they be agreed? They ain't even walking together.
Listen.
so
Hold on a
This is a
second.
distraction, everybody.
That's a
yeah, this
I'll
so yeah.
distraction.
never
Let me
have
get
it the
back to my point because I'm
ISUPK
about
That's a
to
room.
distraction. Rip it
Nah,
on
it's a
any
I
beat.
was
dance group. It's a
Go ahead,
dance
Jake.
group.
because
Hey, you,
I was
Tyler,
about to
you
fall
can't say
back to
that's a
your
distraction when Jake came off mute
That's
and said,
a distraction.
"Why would you say that?" Like
Because
you
no,
fucked
listen.
up. He said
Because
it just like that.
yeah,
Why would you say that?
but brother, guess
But
what?
you know something? It's okay.
But
Hey, Taliban, it's okay. It really is
yeah,
not
I'm
that
gonna
big of a
stop with the
deal.
distractions. Go
It's
ahead,
like
King. Go
a
ahead.
little thing that don't really matter. It was just a
Yeah,
quick
go ahead.
question. It's no big deal. He's cut that we're not in the new covenant because Gadal, who was cheerleading, just said we're not in the new covenant. So he agreed with him.
but me and
Yeah, yeah.
everybody in here know
And
He
me and
just
Cap
he
do
Hey,
just
hey,
all
grouped
this.
them
but
two.
see, like
He
even
grouped
now,
New
what you
He
doing
Testament
is
trying to
and
this
play
is what you
games.
call
that's
this is what
hypocritical.
could you call when you drowning? It's
That's
called like
Hey, let's
hypocritical.
get
grasping
back
at
to the
That's
bill,
straws.
hypocritical.
man.
Because I'm not debating. I
That's just
debated
what
and
it
beat
is.
Tally already, and then I passed
You
it to
got work.
ABT, and then ABT beat y'all, and then Godal came in and just
ABT
I'm
ran. They just ran trying to find a
Yeah,
scripture to
ABT,
show
yo,
you.
ABT got
ABT
destroyed
did
in
not
Isaiah
They
run.
muted up.
65.
Hey
They
Now,
muted up.
Jake,
and see
Drake
what
still
y'all don't
looking for that
understand. I'm gonna
scripture.
try to give y'all
Cheerleading
some
with their
advice.
tongue out on the
What
mic.
y'all don't understand is in debates, like Godal said, I don't agree with Godal. Godal don't agree with me. That don't mean that in a debate you can't agree that they made the point in the
Cap,
debate.
this is a
And
distraction,
once
King.
y'all both had two different answers, you lost.
No, we didn't.
Brother,
No, we're
brother,
not going to take
everybody
that
Yeah.
knows
gamble like that.
Truth
Regardless
Mafia
of that,
is made
just
up
a point.
of different congregations, and some people
Yeah,
hold to different things. We're not a
It's
camp,
like when
brother.
LeBron
we're the
disagree with
captain.
We're
Hey,
just
himself.
hold on,
We're the
Jake. Hey,
captain
Jake,
we're
is
not a
you?
camp,
of.
brother.
Hey, Jake, is 70 AD? Is that talking about 70 AD according to
Hold
your
Hold
on, I'm
on. We
interpretation?
talking
going
to you
right
right
back to Jake's point,
No,
bro.
no. I
now. Hold
just
on a
want to know,
second.
Jake. Do you agree with that, Jake?
I'm not talking to
Jake,
you right
answer that, bruh. Do you agree
Brother,
with that?
all this
now. Hold on.
is
Hold on.
APT
Hold on.
got their
Hey, you
ass
know
whooped.
why this
EPK
happened to
got their
y'all?
ass
Cause y'all
whooped.
We're
fucking
Now
just
they
put
trying to.
Katazar down twice. That's why this happening to y'all right
we move. Oh my God. Oh.
Hey,
Anyway,
hey,
Y'all
come on,
moving
y'all.
right
Hold,
disrespected
hold,
along.
hold, hold.
Kadazar.
Come
Y'all
on.
put
Don't
Kadazar
move
down
LeBron
twice, and the
down. Don't move
Lord is
LeBron
not
down.
with y'all. The Lord is against y'all.
He
That's why
troll
this
as
is
fuck.
happening right now. I just want y'all
Hey,
to know that.
listen.
I
Y'all niggas
understand.
got to a point. Jake's, I'm never gonna
Hey,
forget. Jake said, "Why did you
hey,
say that? Why is the
you
clips not
going and
on
you?
this
I know.
Hey,
motherfucker?"
it's
I
not
know.
that
I
serious,
Why?
Cap.
understand.
Like you
Just
know,
like
feel like he
Listen.
just cheated or something.
I
Like how could
understand
you
Yeah.
Cap.
do
Listen.
this?
Now I
Hold on,
understand
Jake.
Cap.
Hold on, Jake. Really quick.
Hold on.
Hold on,
Hold on.
Jake.
Hold
Really
on.
quick.
I
We going right back to the point. I'm gonna say something for 10 seconds.
go ahead.
UPK got got that work. You was
Exactly.
deflecting the whole time. Everybody knows it, Cap. You just got that work. You my man, 100 grand, but
Just like I had one of your captains again. I have a habit of doing it. One of your captains ran from me 2 weeks ago, talking about we can cook fajitas on the Shabbat. So y'all. I'm picking y'all jackets
I
whenever
don't
y'all
even
begin
know
to
what
have
you're
it.
talking about. But
I
once you
have
yielded,
I have a
once you yielded, once y'all yielded that Christ is the mediator of the New Testament, I was done. The
We didn't
part
yield
that
to
y'all
that.
arguing, yes, I did. Jake yielded to it. The part that
But
y'all
that's not a
arguing,
point.
the part that y'all are arguing, I
Yeah.
don't disagree with.
Okay.
That's what
So
y'all.
you
I
yielded
think y'all.
to
I don't
us.
think y'all have understanding of what I'm saying or what the text is saying, and that's why y'all keep going to the completion. Nobody's talking about the end point. But Christ is not a mediator
Right.
of the New Testament, right? So if you are forgiven of your sins according to Christ, that is under the New Testament.
Hey, but Cap,
Is
You
he
watch this
can't get
really
mediated?
quick. Oh,
and
no, hold on, Jake. Hold on, Jake.
wait,
Watch
no,
this.
no, no, because y'all gonna go right
Exactly.
back to getting y'all ass whipped. I'm gonna go right back. I
Exactly.
want to go
Listen, I'm
right
trying to
back
tell
to
y'all.
ad libbing.
Exactly.
I'm
Listen.
gonna go right back to ad
Okay.
libbing
Okay.
because
Okay. Okay.
when I
I,
left, I even gave you the last word.
When
That's
you
how
ran.
comfortable I
Cap.
was. You can't
Cap.
run
You
if
can't.
you give the
Cap. You
last
can't
word.
yield into
And I
that conversation.
stayed in the room.
You
Okay. Hold
I
on,
wanted to
Cap.
s-
give the last
Hold,
word.
hold
like,
on. Hold on,
listen,
Jake. Hold
brother.
on,
Hey,
Jake.
hey,
Hold on,
listen,
Jake. Really
y'all.
quick.
Listen, what y'all should
Come
do
on,
is go
Cap.
have
Stop
a
trying to
huddle
overtalk,
up and
man. Really
team
quick.
and
Hold on.
regroup with your coach
Hold
because
on,
y'all
Cap.
ain't
Stop
even
trying
in
to overtalk,
agreement.
man. This is
Yes, we
deflection.
are.
I'm not
Hold on.
over
Hey, if
talking you.
y'all keep the
I'm not.
Okay. Hold on.
Fajita on
Really
the
quick
Sabbath,
then.
man, I'm
Hold,
sliding to
hey,
that piece.
everybody hold on.
Tally,
This is
I'm
a
not
simple.
debating anymore. I'm
Exactly.
just
No, listen. No,
right.
listen,
This
brother.
exactly right.
Brother, we're not about to debate. I'm
Oh,
just
okay,
gonna
no
say
problem.
this.
Oh, okay,
Cap
go ahead.
thinks we entered into the new covenant when Christ died, but right after Christ died, the Israelites went into captivity under
Right,
all nations. Right
right,
after he died. Welcome to the new covenant, y'all. Yeah, it's going into
right,
slavery. That don't make no sense.
right.
Now let's get back to the bill.
That's
Go ahead,
because
Jake.
they
Hey,
didn't
can I
believe.
ask y'all
Okay.
a quick question? When they came out of Babylon and they made that new covenant, did they go back into
Hold on,
captivity?
good dog. Y'all keep trying to stall it out. Because that's a
We're
whole
not under the
different
fourth
that's a,
covenant, Godal.
right.
We're not talking about that. So
Oh,
He
Right.
again,
said, please don't
That's a
do it,
again,
different
Godard.
thing.
They say, show him grace. Show
again.
him grace.
Hold on,
Give
Dre.
him
Do you got
mercy.
that?
I'm
Hey,
going to
Dre,
call
do
the
you
big
got that
homie
verse?
out.
Yeah,
Godard,
Hey,
give
shit,
him
Dre.
mercy,
wicked.
homie.
Yeah,
Hold on, Dre. You
Hey,
got that
listen,
verse?
hey,
they big
hey,
man, man.
everybody who's in Truth Mafia, y'all should be
Taliban, hold
honored
on.
because these niggas have to team up just to try to get a little
I know,
cut.
No,
Dre.
that's
I
not
know.
This
fair.
is
Wait, hold up.
no,
I'm
listen,
gonna say it
no,
again. That's
y'all
not
should be
fair.
honored right
It
now.
was my conversation first, and it was really just a build, and I
You
didn't want to dominate
told
the stage. That's
you
why I
told
yielded.
Jack to get in there. You wanted Jack to
Nah.
I
get
did
in there.
not tell
I
Jack. Jack said, I want to get in there. And
you're
then
You
like,
Daniel
said
okay,
Allah,
pause.
who
tell him
was
watch
in
the
here,
car.
and then Daniel
That's the
Allah, who
problem.
was in here, said, who's going to go next? I yielded so that other brothers could get in. I don't have to dominate
You
the
didn't
You
answer
stage.
said,
the
I
questions
this
either.
will be my last statement. Someone
Hey,
else can get
Trilla,
in
did you
here.
say, right, Trilla, did you say you wanted to get in there before I gave it to you? Yes or no?
Oh
Oh,
my god. Oh my god.
I don't
Yes.
have
nigga,
to lie,
Trilla, where
man.
you at, Trilla? Come on, Trilla.
Like
Why are you talking to him?
I don't have to lie
It's on
about none of
Tally and
this.
Trilla, y'all. Come on, y'all. It's on Tally and Trilla. Nigga, it was on
That's
me and you.
correct.
It was
It
on
was
me and
on
you.
no, no, I don't think you're
It was.
getting it.
Go ahead, Cap.
Listening is an art.
Go
When
ahead,
you and
Cap.
I was going back and forth, and Jack wanted to get in there, I said after we have this conversation, then Triller can get in there. I didn't know
But
you was
it
gonna be
was
the ones.
after the offering you made where someone else could get in there. And
Mm-hmm.
then he said, I'll
No,
get in
no,
there.
no, no,
Then
no.
you gave
That's not true. That's the part that you're missing. Triller spoke while I was talking because he wanted to get in there. He said, "Let me get in there." So I didn't have a problem letting somebody else get in there. Once
all right.
you,
I'm
I'm
not
talking to Jake. I'm talking to Jake. Once you admitted that when you get your sins forgiven, it's under Christ, who is the mediator of the New Testament, I was done. Hebrews 9 and 15. When I read Hebrews 10 and 29, when I read Hebrews 9 and 16, I was done with it.
Skip right
And then
over
I
listen,
Hebrews 8,
passed it to
huh?
the next.
hold on, tell me.
I passed it to
That
the
was
next brother, and
right,
then Godal got in there, and it was just a
right.
smack up, smack up, smack up, smack up,
It
smack
was
up. That's all. And then the
exactly right.
highlight, was
Right.
Jake angry at Tally says,
No, I'm not
"Why
doing
would
that
you
yet.
say that?"
Now, when it comes to
That's what you did.
what you
Tally,
ran
did he
from,
not do that? Tally, keep it 100. That's what he did. He
Tell
said,
me,
Listen,
"Tally,
hey, listen,
why would you
listen,
do
listen,
that?"
listen.
They gonna argue in the
listen,
background, y'all. They gonna argue in the back
No,
chat.
no, no.
Them
Brother Jake, brother,
niggas gonna
brother
argue in
Jake
the
is
back
my
chat.
biggest critic.
hold
Brother
on.
Jake does it all the time on stage.
I do it all the time with him. I
Yeah.
always
Nope.
because
Yeah, no
it's
problem.
regardless, and people correct me. I don't
No,
care.
no problem. Well, y'all
Regardless
could
of
get
that,
back to it, man.
the
I'm getting back to
correction
my
that
ad
came
lib.
in,
I'm back in
I
my ad
know,
lib
I
mode.
know,
I
I
know.
know. But what we're
Right?
gonna
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
say
appreciate
is
Run
it.
away,
the
Hey,
Cap.
y'all making
questions you
fajitas
ran
on the
from.
Sabbath. I might have to come through that piece, Cap.
Yeah, exactly. exactly.
Right, hey,
You
right.
said we
So yeah,
making what? You said we making
Fajitas
what?
on the fajitas on the Sabbath. Who said somebody making fajitas on the Sabbath? I might have to come slide up on
yeah,
y'all.
Captain Tank
Get you a
David
nice
Hall
He
fajita
agreed.
a
stand.
tally
You might get
Yeah,
your
fajita.
yeah,
fajita
I'll line up
stand.
the charcoal grill.
Now again. The two
All
questions that
this is
they
a
ran from.
deflection for y'all get y'all ass whooped, man. Y'all got your ass whooped tonight,
The
man. Just
two
own
Hey,
it.
questions
That's
that
Cap,
all. It's all
I
right.
Cap,
Y'all
understand.
Cap.
tough.
I
Y'all
understand.
tough, right? Y'all tough, right?
Niggas
Yo,
just trying
listen,
to be
listen, listen,
David.
listen, 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 listen. What y'all cannot listen. I refuse to let y'all spin the narrative that
Yeah, they're gonna
Dre
do
did
it.
not. No, no. Listen. First of all,
They have
Cap
to do it.
got packed out. Priest Danya
And
Allah tried to save
ran
this
from those
nigga
two
so
questions
bad.
exactly.
Priest Danya
And
Allah tried to
bro,
save this man. You heard him.
Oh, he
But
did.
and
Shit, I
then
was disagreeing
Cap
with Daniela technically until I
and
thought
then
Daniela was saying we wasn't in the New Testament, but even
listen.
Daniela said we was in it.
Cap, I
So how
only
could he
spared you
How
for
could he
Priest
save
Danya
me?
Allah, Cap.
because he's
Cap,
saving
I
you.
only spared you for Priest Danya Allah,
Hey,
right? And then
listen, you should
Jack,
never spare me. Next time,
and
just
then
for future reference, if we ever have a back and forth,
it's
don't
off for
spare
his
me,
head
man.
next time. I
I'm
got you.
tough,
Listen,
right? Yeah, I'm
listen.
tough.
Next time,
I'm real.
Cap.
I'm tough, like tough in real life.
Next
Yeah,
time, it's off
Like you
for
could
his
just
we're
come
head.
gonna
up with whatever.
next time we're
I
gonna
would
have
never
to
say. Listen, you'll never hear me say, "Katazai, why you do that?" I
Listen,
wouldn't
next
do
time.
that.
listen.
I understand. I understand.
It's off with your
What
head
you're
next time.
hold on,
But
Taliban. What
but
you're
listen,
gonna do is
Trilla
what
got
you're gonna
work in
do,
Isaiah 65. This
Taliban. Hold
nigga
on,
got work.
Taliban.
But go ahead though. Go ahead, you.
What Captain Tazariak's gonna do is take whatever somebody says in his camp and just accept it. And we know
No,
that.
no, I'm not. No, I'm not.
We know
No, I
that
don't.
you're gonna do
If you
that.
ask them in
We
my
know
camp,
you're gonna do that.
they would tell you that that's not true. But when we having
Not
a
in public.
doctrinal battle, Katazai would never say something that disagrees with me in a battle, which is what just happened now.
It doesn't matter. This is just the
No
internet.
problem.
What we're
And
talking about
listen, I wouldn't let my frustration of him saying something off make me say, "Why
I'm
would you
not
do that?" I
actually
would find a
frustrated.
way to
This is a
correct what
game.
Katazai said without putting him on Front Street.
This
Because
is a
what you're
game.
really saying is, "Tally, you fucked up. Why you say
No.
that?" That's what
What
you're
we're
saying.
saying, what we're
Brother, never.
playing is a game. What we're doing is playing a game.
Yeah,
Because
that's
I know
Now we
that we're
playing
gonna
a
get
game. You
that
the brother that said y'all joke. Hey, LeBron, is this the brother said he joked with
Said
Jesus was
Jesus was
joking?
joking. Now we
This
playing games. Goddamn, nigga.
again.
Boy, this
this
Again.
so
is a pack
Again.
out of pack outs.
This is
Never
the
send
listen.
person.
If
Katazai down
y'all
to the
ever
goo
You run
see
up
again. This
in
is
one
that
what
nigga,
happens
street
when you do
all
that
day
no,
shit.
listen,
playing,
When you
nigga.
listen.
send Katazai
This is
down
a
to the
lot.
goo, fucked up shit happens to you. Don't send
Yo,
Katazai to the goo again.
yo,
Don't do
yo,
that shit.
yo, listen.
This is
The
It's his
Lord didn't like that
judgment.
shit.
He ain't
The
playing. You
Lord
think
did
he
not
playing
like
about his
that shit.
doctrine?
Yeah,
Listen,
the
and
Lord did not like that
this
shit.
is
Do
yeah,
not
this is
send
man.
a game.
Katazai to the goo
Again,
again.
Listen, man. Kadazar is a descendant of Madame Zeroni. We get it. Okay, now we all
exactly.
cursed.
This is the same
Now
game.
that shit, wait, what?
That's
This is the
I don't even know who Zeroni is, but that shit, that shit
Madame
sounded
Zeroni, yo.
fucking
That's his.
funny.
Is that the
it's
from the
that
That
it's
movie
shit
that
is
it's,
fucking
Holes?
funny.
it's that
But
voice from
y'all
the
got
movie
y'all
Holes.
ass for
Exactly.
tonight. Y'all,
Hey,
the
hey, hey,
highlight
Tally, was that
is,
from the
I'm
movie
sorry.
Holes?
Hey,
Again.
and let me ask a
Again.
question. Let me ask a question of
Hold
Tally.
hold on. Hold
Okay,
on.
we gonna get back to it.
Hey,
Yoshi
hey, Jake. Yeah,
Yoshi
yeah,
want
Hey,
to talk the
Yoshi,
Hold on.
get
Bible.
in
Go ahead,
there,
Yoshi.
Hold
man.
on. Hold
And
on.
Yoshi said, "I
This is
want
the
some of
same.
this."
Yoshi said, "Let
This
me
is
get